Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to yet another live stream. It's been nice, because there haven't been international breaks and midweek deadlines. It's just every Saturday we jump on a live stream. And I actually quite like these slightly later live streams. I think I said this last week because I have a bit of a lie-in and I'm not forced to wake up at, I was going to say silly o'clock. It's like 8 a.m. I wake up, but I'm not forced to wake up at 8 a.m. at least on a Saturday, which feels nice. So, as always, say hello in the chat. You guys know that I love it when you say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know what you're doing right now. And we have plenty to discuss in today's live stream. Even though it's not a double and it's not a blank, because of the upcoming double game week 28 and the upcoming blank game week 29, and obviously free hits and wildcards being discussed, I feel like there is a lot to talk about. Is YouTube your main source of income? God, at least take me for a drink first before asking me these questions. Yes, it is. It's 6:30 a.m. for me. That is dedication right there. Where are you in? Where are you tuning in from, Matthew? Hello to Tashin, Webby, Matthew in the chat, Noah, John, Ashley. Hi from Bulgaria, Maxim. Good to see you. My wife. My wife. I don't know why I turned into. I don't know what accent that is. My wife. Marcus says my wife's eating a Cornish pasty. I don't even know what a Cornish pasty is. Well, I know what it is, but what are the ingredients of Cornish pasty? Is it beef?
No, is it like beef and onion?
Beef and onion and stuff.
I don't know.
I feel like I should know that. Solanke to start or not? I don't know. I'd love to tell you the answer. Hello, Daddy Rappy. Missed you. I missed you too, Sahil. Good to see you. Lots of the regulars in here as well. Good morning, Frosty. Good to see you. The Bean is here. Hello, The Bean. Don't know what type of bean. Runner bean, green bean, baked bean. Lots of beans. Kidney beans. I had kidney beans last night. Sorry. Already getting distracted. Already. The FPL stream's gone in the bin. Just quickly before we jump into looking at my team, Vijay has become a Wrapped Tier 2 member. Sorry for butchering your name, but thank you for joining. Start Solanke or Gross if no further news. I would start Pascal Gross. No free hit 29. Estepinian to Cash, Foden to Son, both or roll. Don't do Foden to Son this week, do Estepinian to Cash instead. I would be slightly worried though that Cash gets the odd rest here and there, but I still think Estu to Cash could work for you fine. Harry says, plan to free hit 29. Would you do KDB to Son? No, not this week. Would you also do Porro to Saliba for a -4 or just play Van Heck? I would just play Van Heck. Hello from Oslo. Hello, Darshil. You don't live in Oslo, do you? I assume you're on holiday. Or do you live in Oslo? Let me know. But thank you for being a member for 26 months. I really appreciate that. Sketchy pronunciation. It was sketchy at best. That's kind, Claudette, saying it was sketchy. Right, let me take you into my team. I've actually already made a transfer last night because I thought there might be a double rise. Turns out there wasn't a double rise, but there was one. So I've already done Hwang to Son, which was my one free transfer. I don't know why. I just had loads of money in the bank because I've still got like 3 million in the bank, 3.1 million in the bank. People keep commenting on this in my videos. I'm not lying about my team value. I don't know why it's so high. Because considering I'm 107k, right? It's not like sometimes when you're like top 100 in the world, you've just owned all of the best players that have gone up. But I'm not having the best season in overall rank, but my team value is a joke. I don't know why. I've just owned the right players and moved early at the right points, I suppose. My team value is now up at, we just scroll down, 106 mil. Is that right? Yeah, 106 mil. So it's quite high. But
106.5.
Mrs. Raptor over here, mine's 106.5. Yeah, but you're ranked top 10k. I'm not. I'm having a terrible season. This is what I'm saying. Like when you have a really good season, it naturally you just have high team value. But anyway, it will serve me well when I come to do my second wildcard, though, definitely. But yes, anyway, my one free transfer was Hwang to Son. Basically, what I now have to think about is, do I want to make a defender transfer? Because at the moment I'm playing Taylor and Ake. And also, do I maybe want to sell Richarlison for Bowen and then bench Bowen? I know that sounds weird, taking a -4 to sell someone to bench them. But if Solanke doesn't play, or any of my other attackers miss out, I'm getting probably a 1-pointer maximum from Pau off the bench. And my thought process behind this is I'm going to want to sell Richarlison anyway because it doesn't look like he'll be fit for 29. So if I'm going to have to sell Richarlison anyway, and it's almost definitely going to be for a hit, why not just do Richarlison to Maddison or Bowen this week? Why not just make the move this week? If I'm going to have to do it anyway. That's sort of part of the thought process here. So I'm going to ask you guys a bit later what you think about that. But there is some temptation to do Richarlison to Bowen or Maddison, put them first sub, and then if Solanke misses out, I've got a good bench option. And of course, that then just sorts one of my transfers out ahead of game week 29. So that's the position I'm in. But let me get back to answer some of your questions. Because recently in particular, you let price rises influence your moves. I don't think I did. Maybe I have. Yeah, the defense has been crap for a while now, hasn't it, Claudia? I mean, this is the thing. Like, I think like I could bring in this player. Like, I could bring in a Bournemouth defender. I could bring in Doughty. Do I fancy any of the defenders to do particularly well this week? The only defender I think, if I brought them in this week, I'm almost guaranteeing a clean sheet is if I brought in Saliba, but they blank in 29. I'm going to wildcard in probably 31 anyway, and then I can just jump on double Arsenal defence in 31. I'm not sure that I need to do that now, but maybe it would be worth it. Maybe something like Ake to Saliba could work well for me. The good thing about the press conference updates that we had yesterday is Pau Torres and Pedro Porro are both looking like they'll be fit for 29. So it's just Richarlison I need to sort out, really. And then the rest of the team's looking good. Kelleher looked like it's now a good transfer because Alisson could be out for until sort of like April time, it sounds like. So Kelleher could be a really nice transfer. Right, let me get back to answering this question. Should I bring in Solanke? I wouldn't this week. He could do very well. He really could. But I just think based on what we know and the fact there's a slight risk, I would just wait until next week to do it. I also want to bring in Son for Hwang, but don't have enough. I could, however, do Bowen to Son. Yeah, I saw someone on Twitter do Bowen to Son. I don't like that. I think Son's a better option than Bowen, hence why I brought in Son rather than Bowen, but I'm not sure I would take out Bowen right now, unless you're definitely free hitting 29, in which case there's slightly more value in doing it. Have you considered Hwang to Maddison, potentially? Obviously not the same as Son, but you could still do quite well. Sorry for sniffling, by the way, I'm a bit bunged up. Darcy says, Son captain, a good risk to gain rank with no free hit 29. Son captain. Don't mind it. To be honest, I think Haaland, Palmer, Son or Saka could all be, even Watkins. I mean, I'm looking at my front seven. I could comfortably justify captaining all of them, maybe outside of Foden, if Solanke was fit. But I think given he's not, yeah, any of Haaland, Watkins, Palmer, Son, Saka. I've got my vice on Palmer because he's an absolute legend. He's on pens, great minutes, rested midweek as well, remember. And Brentford are missing their first choice back four. Right? They've got, what is it, Hickey, Henry, me, and Pinnock all out. So that back four is going to be a mess. So I don't mind the idea of Palmer captain, actually. Hwang to Son, Dubravka to Neto for a -4. 9 players for 29. Hwang to Son and Dubravka to Neto. Do you have to do the Dubravka to Neto move this week? Doesn't feel like a move you need to make this week, to me, anyway. But yeah, I like those moves in general. Hi, Ross. Pau, Reguilon, Doughty, start 1. Doughty. None of I don't think any of those are keeping clean sheets this week. Apart from maybe Aston Villa, but I don't think Pau will start. The reason, a couple of people are asking me, the reason that Pau Torres is on the bench right now for me and Taylor's starting is I just can't see Pau Torres starting this game. And so I think what I'm getting from Pau is a maximum of 1 point. To be honest, what I'm getting from Taylor is probably a maximum of 1 point. But there's just, if he's playing 90 minutes, it's just increased chance for returns, isn't it? But I suppose if Pau starts, he's just a much better option than Taylor. Do you know what? That's going to be my first question to you guys. And then we'll do a captaincy poll in a bit as well. Who would you start? Bear in mind that my prediction is that Pau doesn't start, by the way. But obviously, if you think he does, then vote that I should start Pau. So this is who would you... I'm going to capitalise start. Let me know. I'm going to start Ake, because I think Man United are pretty stinky without Højlund, and I also think that Ake has just got a better chance for a clean sheet than Taylor or Pau. And he's also got some attacking threat as well. So I think Ake's definitely starting for me. It's just, do I start Pau Torres or do I start Taylor? Maybe, I mean, Taylor's not keeping a clean sheet and he's got no attacking threat. So maybe the smart play is to just start Pau Torres. Would you do Hwang to Ross Barkley on for free? I don't mind Barkley, yeah. Don't hate that at all. Don't hate that at all. Oh, Pau Torres is comfortably winning. Yeah, maybe I'll listen to you guys then and just start Pau Torres and hope that he starts. I just don't think he will. I don't see a world in which he does. He's just not been training for most of the week. Wildcard 27 versus 28. I have built a Wildcard 27 and I've built a Wildcard 28. They're identical pretty much. Apart from in 27, you would probably still have maybe a second or third City asset. Whereas in 28, you might decide to drop them. The other thing is, in 28, you might choose to potentially have less Arsenal players, because they obviously then go into... It depends if you're free hitting in 29, I suppose, but I don't think there's a massive amount of difference between them. It's just about, if your team looks good this week, don't wildcard. If it doesn't, then wildcard. And then, obviously, if it looks good, then you can just wildcard next week instead. Because there's a good chance if you wildcard this week, you'd want to remove the likes of Foden and De Bruyne, but they could really do well against Manchester United. So I actually don't think there's a massive amount of difference between 27 and 28. Hello, Mr. Raptor. Hello, Kieran. Thank you for being here. We Talk Football says, hi, Ross. Start Senesi or Doughty? Senesi for me. Yeah. Doughty's got slightly better attacking threat, but I think you back the clean sheet. And Senesi's pretty decent from corners as well. Is you Doggy playing? My prediction is yes, but we don't know. But he's definitely fit enough to play. He's in contention. He'll be in the squad from what we've heard from Postecoglou. Pedro Porro is a week away, is the current time frame. And Richarlison was 3 to 4 weeks based on all of the info we have. I think it sounds like Richarlison will be back the other side of the international break, which is game week 30. So basically, we're going to have to sell Richarlison, I think. But you never know. Could make a speedy recovery and be back for 29. I don't think so. Here for FPL says, done -4 this week with Purvis and Richarlison to Doughty and Son already, being only one -4 hit from 9 in blank game week 29. Is it still valid to go for wildcard 31 strategy, have all of the chips? Absolutely. I'm probably looking at having 9 players in game week 29 now because of Richarlison's issues. So yeah, I will probably go in with either 9 from -4, or is it 10 from... I think it's not. I'll have a look in a second. I think it's 9 from -4 or 10 from -8. But remember, quantity and number of players isn't the important thing here. It's like which players you own. As long as you own Tony, Son, Maddison, Bowen, Watkins, and then maybe like a Douglas Luiz or a Bailey, and then you've got like a couple of defenders, it doesn't matter that you have 11 players, in my opinion. Like, if you didn't have a goalkeeper for 29, oh well. Like, you're not really probably gaining much point. Like, the likes of Areola, I'm going to have Areola in 29. Is Areola keeping a clean sheet against Aston Villa? No. And even if he makes a few saves, we're looking like 2 or 3 points. So I wouldn't stress too much about having 11 in 29. Rio says, Alvarez to Morris so I can do Richarlison to Son -4. I love that. Yep, go for it. Mickey says, Gross to Son. I don't know that I'd want to sell Pascal Gross. I would want Son, though. If that's your only route to Son, I don't mind it. By the way, if you are enjoying the stream, already almost 4,000 people here, can you please make sure you smash the like button, because there's only 200 likes, and also make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. I do really appreciate it. Both things are free, and they only take like a second of your time, but they massively help me. So yeah, if you're enjoying the stream, make sure to drop a like. Hey Ross, for game week 29, I already have Areola, Cash, Porro, R9, Watkins, Tony. Can fill 10 with 3 hits until 29 to avoid the free hit. Is it the play? Yeah, that kind of... I just kind of spoke about that. But yes, you don't even need 10. 8 or 9 could work fine. As long as the 8 or 9 you have are good. Again, I wouldn't... As long as the number is above kind of 7 or 8. I think if it's less than that, you're starting to look a bit dodgy. And as long as those 7 or 8 are really good options, I wouldn't stress. But if your 7 or 8 involves like Kabore, Taylor... I don't know, other players that you don't particularly want, like double West Ham defence, then yeah, you're looking at it and saying, I've got 8, but they're not even good 8. Then that changes for me. Start Darwin or Garnacho. Darwin. KDB or Foden to Son, or just roll. I think I'll just roll this week. I genuinely think that Man City will score more goals against Manchester United than Spurs will against Crystal Palace. I mean, let me know in the chat if you disagree. If I was to tell you to say you've got to put all of your money on the line, who scores more goals this week, City or Spurs? Unless you're a Man United fan, I would probably say you'd predict it to be Man City. Ow, got a sharp pain in my neck. That's not good. Yo, Raptor, gun to the head. Hopefully not. Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, and Aston Villa, Luton to WLD. What on earth is happening with that question? What is WLD? Wildcard? What? I'm so sorry, Sultan. I have no idea what you're even asking in that question. I'm going to have to skip over it. Kinger says, hi, Ross. Start Bowen or Solanke? Ooh, Solanke. Just about. Also, Erdegaard or Foden to Son? No. Or wait till 29 and do it. I'd wait till 29. In both game weeks, it would be for a hit. I'm not free hit 29. I like Erdegaard and Foden this week. I'm not sure I'd make that move. Like, I do understand the Son and FOMO, and I obviously think Son is the best option to bring in for me this week. But if I didn't have an easy route to him, I'm not sure that I would have made the move. I mean, it's easy for me to say that now that I own him, but yeah. Dubravka still good, or do I need a transfer out? I think he's fine for this week. I have Richarlison, Hwang, VVD, and Dubravka all to deal with for transfers, potentially. I would focus on dealing with Richarlison and Hwang, rather than Van Dijk or Dubravka. Focus on the players that are actually out. Do we know if Bradley is starting, or is Trent back? No, Bradley's definitely starting. Oh, I don't want to say that. I would expect Bradley to start. Trent's out until after the international break, which is after game week 30. Trent will be back. So yeah, Bradley, I would be very shocked. Bradley could even start on the right wing. We saw that in the Carabao Cup. Bradley started as part of the front three. So you could potentially see, if Darwin's not ready, we could see something like Diaz, Gakpo, Bradley as the front three, with Elliott in midfield. But I think at the very least, we're probably seeing Bradley in the starting 11, I'd imagine. Jay Saunders says, Hi Ross, is it worth risking Solanke or start Gordon? That's a great question. Gordon is fantastic at home. I'd still start Solanke, and I'd hope that he either starts or doesn't feature. FPL Try with a super chat just says, come on, you Spurs. We dislike that. If I could dislike a super chat, I would, but thank you, mate. I appreciate it. We have got Koza C. Says, Son, Saka, O. Who's O? Is that Erdegaard? Palmer, Foden, Watkins, Solanke, bench 1. Cool. I'll tell you what, in that situation, it might be Solanke. If it's not Solanke, it's probably Foden. Oh, Foden. Nah, it's got to be Solanke because he's the only one at risk for minutes, really. Maybe Foden. I would have said Palmer, but I just think given that Me is also out now, I just think you've got to play Palmer now. Palmer, like, I don't know if he'll eventually have my vice. Not that it'll probably matter, but I do really like Palmer as an option this week. Could you discuss wildcard 27, bench boost 28, free hit 29, -4 for Salah in 30? Thanks. I mean, it's a bit of a vague thing. Yeah, if you're asking if I like that, I love it, but you've spunked all 3 of your chips before game week 30. So you've got to navigate game week 30 to game week 38 with no chips. The only issue with that is the players and teams that are likely, but not definitely doubling in 34, are going to be completely different to the ones that double in 37. So it's going to be very difficult without a free hit or a wild card to navigate 34 and 37. You're either going to have to sacrifice one or the other. So it's probably going to be the fact that you probably would end up sacrificing 34 and just saying, you know what, 34 is not going to be a great week for me. Start Bowen or Gordon? Ooh, Gordon. I'd start. Is Gordon's at home? I'd go Gordon. Although we know Bowen's pretty good away from home, but yeah, I'd probably go Gordon. Bench Don. Depends. I have Palmer, Son, Foden, JB. Who's JB? I just think Justin Bieber. Who's JB? JB. Why can't I think of anyone's surname that's B? Mrs. Raptor. Who's JB? Are you asleep? Oh my god, Mrs. Raptor's asleep already. I don't know. Let me look at the chat. Chat, who's JB? Oh, Bowen. I could not think for the life of me. Sorry. When people send super chats, they always do it with like acronyms, abbreviations, and then I'd never know. Sorry. So Justin Bieber. So I have Palmer, Son, Foden, Bowen, Saka. Oh no, he's done it with loads of players. OW is Ollie Watkins and EH is Erling Haaland. Okay, I've got those two. Sorry, mate. Yes, I would probably bench Bowen in that case, Jensen. I would bench Bowen. Sorry, you can go back to sleep. Mrs. Raptor was fully conked out there. I didn't realise. Need to downgrade Trippier to go from Richarlison to Son. Okay. Downgrade to who? I've got Gabriel Saliba, Pau, Porro. Or should I gamble and go without Son? I'd be pretty happy downgrading Trips. If you're not free hitting in 29 Zodiac, I would be looking Doughty probably. And if you are free hitting, maybe a Senesi or a Zabani or Kirkez, basically a Bournemouth defender. Bickle snoozing at 7k overall rank. This is what happens when you're just good at FPL. You don't need to be awake.
I need opinion news.
She's talking with her eyes closed like this. She said she needs Estepinian news. Pickle asleep in record time. I know, that's what is that? It's like 15, 20 minutes into the stream. Estepinian start or bench? Good question. That is what we are waiting on. I don't know. My prediction is Estu's going to be benched again. But I've said for 3 weeks on the bounce before this that he would start, and he's been benched every week. So if I think he'll be benched, he'll probably start. So maybe start him. Who to bench? KDB, Foden, Luiz, Saka, Palmer. Wow, that is horrid. Probably Luis Diaz. Is that Luiz or Lewis? You've put Lewis, which is like Luis Diaz, but I don't know if it means Louise. Either way, I think I would bench Douglas Luiz or Luis Diaz. Whoever that is, I would bench them. Start Ake or you doggy? Oh, you doggy. Oh, you dog. Oh, you doggy. Ross, do I sell Tony for Solanke? Cameo unlikely. I wouldn't sell Tony for Solanke this week. I'll do it next week, though. Hi, Ross. Would you do KDB to Son for a -1? I would love to know how you're doing that for a -1. I'm assuming that's for a -4. No. Son Palmer in for Richarlison Foden for a -4. I don't like selling Foden and KDB this week. This feels like a KDB Foden. Didn't Foden score? Did he score a brace against us this year? I made that up, didn't I? I feel like he did really well against us. No, he scored 1. And he scored a hat-trick against us last year. Foden likes playing against us. I'm not sure I'd be benching Philip. Or not bench. You can maybe. I don't know. I'd be selling Philip, and I would only bench him if you really need to. I know I just told a couple of people to bench him, but we have difficult benching headaches. Richarlison to Son, then Hwang for who? 6.2 million max. I mean, in that case, it's probably a Bailey or a Douglas Luiz. And I said I wouldn't say bad things about Douglas Luiz anymore, so go for Douglas Luiz. KDB Richarlison to Son and Bowen, or only Richarlison to Bowen. Again, I wouldn't be selling KDB this week, so I would just do Richarlison to Bowen. And I like that as a transfer. No one's considering Maddison. I would just put it out there that if you're looking for an alternative to Bowen, I don't mind a cheeky James Maddison. He's not been great recently, but he will turn it on at some point. I can guarantee it. Arash says start Gusto, Konsa, or Doughty. I'd start Gusto. Yeah. I was in a carpet shop when Douglas Luiz got his brace. Is that a euphemism, Marcus? Oh, very nice. I hate Douglas Luiz with a passion. He makes me look stupid every single week. Start Solanke or Gross? Gross. There are most players that are good and on pens and stuff. I would probably like to start them ahead of Solanke just in case. But, I mean, by all accounts, it sounds like there is a good chance that Solanke plays. Great content, Ross. Greeting from Italy. I love Italy. Hopefully going to go with Mrs. Raptor to Italy this summer. Right. Sultan says, I'll win, loss, draw. Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, and Aston Villa, Luton. Gut feeling. Well, Liverpool beat Forest, and I think Aston Villa will beat Luton, if that's what you're asking. I don't really bet, so I'm a bit confused by the win, loss, draw thing. If you just ask me which way they'll go, Liverpool will beat Forest and Villa will beat Luton. I'm pretty sure of that. Hwang to Richarlison to Son. Oh, sorry. Hwang and Richarlison to Son and Bailey, or Hwang and Van Dijk to Son and a Bournemouth defender. I think I like the idea of Son and Bailey, Cash. Yeah, I think that way. Which two would you start? Solanke, Ake, or Branthwaite? Ooh, good question. I'd start Solanke and Ake. I'd bench Branthwaite. Martin says, Richarlison to Hwang to Son and Bowen for a -4. Yeah, looks good to me. Then bench one out of them, Solanke and Douglas Luiz, or roll and bench one. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'd be tempted to just do one of the moves then. I'm kind of in a similar position. Like, I could do Richarlison to Bowen or Maddison. But then I've got to either bench the person I bring in or bench one of my starting 11. So maybe just make the one. Hi, Ross. Rank these defenders. Van Dijk, Ake, Saliba. Is this from an FPL perspective? Saliba, Van Dijk, Ake. From a real-life perspective, I'm going to upset people, but Van Dijk, Saliba, Ake, in that order. They're all great, though, in FPL and in real life. Jason says, hi, Ross. I only have 2 players for GameWeek 29. Okay. Would you wildcard in 28 to free hit in 34 and bench boost 37, or free hit 29 to wildcard in 35 and bench boost 37? I personally don't like wildcard so late. I quite like the idea of wildcard 28, free hit 34, bench boost 37. However, if your team's in a good position right now, look at what your current team looks like with a couple of transfers, 431 onwards. If you're in a good position, like you've got triple Arsenal, you've maybe got a couple of Man City, etc., and you've got one or two Chelsea, and you're set up quite well, then you probably don't need the wild card this week. But if your team's a bit of a mess, then I would opt for that strategy, yeah. Cameron Cole says, on a wild card, Erdegaard and 9 playing in game week 29 or Louise and 8. Surely if you have Douglas Luiz, you would have more than if you have Erdegaard. I'm a bit confused. I prefer the idea of having Douglas Luiz and more playing in 28, I think. In 29, I should say. George says, start Solanke or Neto. Solanke. Start Dubravka or Areola. Ooh. Dubravka. Just. Who to bench from Taylor and Estepinian? I'd start Estu, I think. Or should I do Porro to Gabriel for a -4 and play Trippier, Gabriel, and Ake? Debating doing wildcard 28 depending on Gabriel versus Sheffield United. Yeah, do you know what? If you've not got an Arsenal defender, I would do Porro to Gabriel for a -4. Yeah, I like that. Porro to Gabriel. Get Gabriel in. But don't do that if you think you're going to wildcard in 28, Mahir. Because if you're going to wildcard in 28, taking a -4 for a defender the week before doesn't feel like the best move. So I think you kind of need to decide right now if you think you want to wildcard in 28 or not. I think it will be quite popular, especially if we get a couple more injuries this week. I might wildcard next week. Let's say that the news on Porro's not great. Let's say that Powell re-aggravates his injury and I get one further injury. I'll probably play the wildcard next week. So I'm not far off a wildcard. I just think I can just about navigate without it at the moment. Let me end that poll. I'm just going to run a captaincy poll and then I'm going to get back to answering your questions. Don't worry. Marcus, you've just reminded me about draft. I need to look at my draft team. Captaincy poll. Chat. Spam in the chat. Who are you currently captaining for game week 27? I want to make sure that I get the 3 most popular options. Also, whilst you're doing things on your phone, make sure to click the like button. And make sure to click the subscribe button as well. I really appreciate it. We're close to 113,000 subs. We're only 50 off 113,000. Saka, Haaland, Son. Saka, Haaland. Haaland, Son. Oh, okay. So Son looks more popular than Watkins and Palmer. There are a few Watkins. I think, yeah, okay. I'll do that then. Haaland against Man United. We've got Saka against Sheffield United. And then we've got... What was the other option? Oh, Son. Right, there we go. Again, sorry for the sniffing down the mic. I know it's annoying. I'm an ill man. You missed my super chat? Oh, did I? Let me have a look. Don't want to miss no one's super chat. Can't see one. To be honest, I can only see this. Oh, there. Found it. Don't have enough to get Son in one move. Would you take a -4 to get Son this week? Or play Gordon? Also, who should I replace Estepinian with? I think I'd play Gordon. I'm not sure that Son outscores Gordon by more than 4 points. I'm not definite about that. Who should I replace Estepinian with? It depends if you're free hitting in 29. If you are, Gusto could be a decent option. I quite like Saliba and Gabriel. I quite like a Bournemouth defender. But if you aren't free hitting in 29, you probably need to look at someone like a Doughty or a... Who else would I go for? Reguilon, not a great fixture this week. Maybe a Udogi could be a decent shout. Frosty says, unsure who to start from DN, AG, NA, PT. Also, captaincy a bit hard, thinking BS, but possibly OW, not considering EH. I hate you, Frosty. I don't even know if these are real people, half of them. Anthony Gordon. DN is... Don't know. NA is... Don't know. PT. I feel like you're making stuff up. You've sent me another one as well. Unsure who to start from DN... You know what? I'm not even going to answer. You're doing this to crush my brain. I hope it was worth it. I hope it was worth it for you, Frosty. Now I've lost where I am. My brain's been fried. W Stream says -4 for Estepinian to Gabriel on bench 1 of Ake, Trippier and Cash. Yes. No. I would just start Ake, Trippier and Cash. I do like the idea of obviously having Gabriel, but those three are fine. Those three are fine. I think I would go that way and just start those three. I'm a bit confused by it. Sorry, they've mixed up the order of these things, and I don't know which ones I've answered now. This isn't ideal. I'm going to go from there. Morning from Miami, says Charles. Sell Haaland to Morris next week for more attacking the double. Okay. Gives me 10 for game at 29, then wildcard back in 31. Still have my free hit and bench boost for 34 and 37. I tell you what, I'm considering selling Haaland for Morris next week, which I never thought I would say, but I'll discuss that more next week, Charles. But I do really like that, actually. Because like you said, it gives you the extra player in 29, gives you an extra fixture in 28, and on top of that, Haaland's not got a great fixture in 31 either against Arsenal. So I'm kind of leaning more on the side of, do you know what, maybe it is a decent shout to sell Haaland for a few weeks. I mean, I sold him earlier in the season, and it worked quite well. How many game weeks is Gusto safe for? You never know with Reece James. Even once he's back, how long is he going to stay fit for? I think he's a relatively safe option. But I don't know the time frame at the moment. Walker to Zaba. Zabani is that. Okay, and bring in Son for He-Chan for a -4. Yeah, I quite like that. I'm assuming you need to do the Walker to Zabani move. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it for a -4. But if you need it to afford Son, then yeah. Saka, Erdegaard, Kudus, Son, Bailey, bench 1. Do you know what? I'd bench Kudus. I would bench Kudus, yeah. Yeah, I like Morris as an option. Quite a few people looking at Morris. No issues with me at all. Decent data on pens, good fixtures in the double, good fixtures in the blank. Good fixture in the blank, I should say. Captain Watkins, KDB, Saka, Haaland, Son or Palmer. I'd say I'd have Haaland and Saka as the top two, but there's currently a captaincy poll right now in the chat if you want to vote on that and see what other people are doing. Let me read out the results in case you're not looking at your phone or laptop or whatever. Currently, 66% of people are captaining Haaland, 24% on Saka, 7% on Son, and then 4% on other. So definitely Haaland by about 2/3, Saka by about 1/4, and then split across like Son, Watkins, Palmer, other options. Maybe the KDBs, etc. Would you start Pau Torres or Estepinian? I think I'd start Estepinian. I think he's got a greater chance of starting. Honestly, Frosty, those super chats. I don't even know if some of these players are actually real. Hello, Ross. How many players from Bournemouth and Luton are you looking to have next week? Love the content. Thank you, Joshy boy. I'm probably looking at having 3. I think next week for a -4 hit, I'll bring in Doughty for Ake and Neto for Kelleher. Is probably the plan. I'm less keen on that now, though, now knowing that Kelleher could play in 30. Because who does? Let me just double check this. Because I'm going to wildcard in 31, I think. Yeah, Areola in 30's got Newcastle. Kelleher's got Brighton. But who has Neto got? Oh, Neto's got Everton. Okay, yeah. Probably Kelleher to Neto and Ake to Doughty will be my moves in 28. So that will give me 3 double game week players. Which I think is okay. I'm relatively okay with that. Should I do Gordon to Palmer for a -4 or Richarlison to Bowen for a -8? Yeah, what are you saying? Do one or do both? I like both. I like the idea of both. But I think Richarlison to Bowen is more important than Gordon to Palmer. I would sell Richarlison before I'd sell Gordon, basically. Gordon's like not an issue this week, is he? He's not even an issue next week. Richarlison doesn't look like he's going to be back fit until the end of March at the earliest. And again, sometimes Postecoglou gets the time frames wrong, but I don't think that looks fantastic. -4 for Estepinian. I did that one. Virgil and Foden to Son and Emerson. Assuming that you... I don't like that this week. I like Van Dijk this week and I like Foden this week. But that does give you 2 extra players for 29. So I understand why you'd want to do that. Not sure. Don't hate it, but I also feel like that's not a massive upgrade this week. I want Son, but it must be for KDB or Gross. Maybe Roll. Yeah, I think I would. Listen, Sonny's great. And he's playing as the number 9 through the middle on pens, but he's not. I don't think like you need to break your team to get him this week. I could be wrong. Son could pop off and get a hat trick, and I hope he does because I just brought him in. But I don't see him as being like this thing that you need to go out and sell really good players to buy him. Estu to Senesi for a -4. Is it worth it? I mean, if Estepinian starts, then obviously not. But will he start? Do you know what? Considering the fixtures you get next week, I don't mind that. I'm chasing 60 points. What do you think of wildcarding City players out this week and captaining Saka or Son? What is your tactic when chasing generally? 60 points is nothing. I truly mean that. Considering you've got 3 further double game weeks and 2 blank game weeks, if you include 29 and 34, there's enough time to make up the points. I really, truly think that. Especially with chips being played as well. So I don't mind wildcarding City players out, but I would basically, my opinion of it is if you think City players are good options, don't wildcard them out. My tactic generally when chasing is still making good decisions. You can make riskier decisions, but you should never make a decision where you're like, I don't actually think that's a good one. That would be my advice. Like my risky decision earlier in the season was to sell Haaland. I didn't at any point think that was a bad decision. I just knew it was a risky decision, and I like that. That's the kind of angle I would go with. People start doing things like, I'm going to sell Salah, Son and Haaland because I'm chasing. It's like, you can't truly believe that's a good thing to do in this case. So I would be careful with it. Erdegaard to Son and Haaland to Tony for a -4. I wouldn't sell Erdegaard before Sheffield United. That is such an Erdegaard fixture. Erdegaard is a flat track bully. Against smaller teams, he just absolutely what's the word I'm looking for? Stat pads? Stat pads. Pads the stats. Don't think that's what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? A lot of his goals come in games like this, when it's like Sheffield United or Burnley. He likes those kind of games, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Erdegaard do fairly well this week. Chris has been a member for 2 years. What an absolute legend. Bring in Erdegaard or Saliba. Already have Gabriel Saka. If Saliba for Estepinian or Porro, free hit 29 for sure. I wouldn't sell Porro. Actually, no, if you're free hit 29, it's not the worst. I would probably do Estepinian to Saliba. I like that as an option. Start Neto or Palmer. Palmer. Hey, sexy. Hey, sexy. KDB for Son. No, not this week. I think KDB is going to absolutely tear us apart. I truly believe that. I think I was looking for the word stat padding. That's what I think I was going for. You know. Do you think Console will start? I don't know. My prediction is that it will be Chambers and Longley, and I think both Konsa and Powell will be on the bench. That's my prediction. Ha United has given me their team. It said, looking to do Bowen to Salah and Watkins to Solanke, taking a -4. What are your thoughts? Bowen to Salah, Watkins to Solanke. I'm assuming you're meaning the other way round, right? So you're doing Salah to Bowen and Solanke to Watkins. I don't know that I'd be selling Solanke for a -4 this week. I would want Watkins, but I would want Solanke for next week. So I kind of just like the idea of selling Salah and bringing in Bowen or Maddison or Son. Yeah, you don't own Son. Oh, no, you are genuinely saying you're going to sell Bowen for Salah and Watkins for Solanke. Well, Solanke's possibly injured and Salah's out for this week. I don't know if you've just not seen the latest news. Salah's not playing in 27. I'm a bit confused, but there we go. I think that's what you're asking. Chris Arnold says, good morning, Raptor. Who would you play out of Martinez, Flecken, and one from Lamptey, Brentwaite, Doughty? Keep up the good work. I would play Martinez ahead of Flecken, and I would play Doughty out of those 3 options, just because he's got the most attacking threat. Emery says, hi, handsome. Look at the lovely compliments. Would you take a -8 next week for Luton players and play 8 in 29, or do a -4 for Bournemouth and free hit in 29? I need to see the rest of your team. That's right on the edge, but I would probably lean towards saying, if you've got your wild card, I quite like the idea of the -8. If you've not got your wild card, I would definitely go for the -4, because you're not going to want to triple up on Luton players if you've not got your wild card to play. Sorry, the stream just dropped in and out there a little bit. If it did freeze for you, you can just refresh it. But yeah, the stream just temporarily dropped in and out. I'll keep an eye on it on my end. Sometimes there's not a lot I can do, sadly. It looks more like it's OBS than my internet, but I'll keep my eye on it. Bench Gordon or Palmer? And -4 to remove Estepinian. I don't mind the -4 to remove Estepinian because he's just proving an issue for you. Bench Gordon or Palmer? I would rather start Palmer and bench Gordon just about. Hey, Ross, bench one of Gross, Bowen, Solanke. Just about Jared Bowen. Senesi or Zabani, I'm going to do free transfer in 29. Do you mean? I assume you mean free hit in 29. Senesi or Zabani? I would just go Senesi and risk the yellow cards. He's just a better option. Zabani's attacking threat isn't there. I meant Bowen to Solanke. Watkins for Solanke next game week. Yeah, but sorry, you meant Bowen to Salah. Salah's still injured this week though. Right, so you still don't want to bring in Salah this week. So no, don't bring in Salah. If you missed the news yesterday, Darwin is in contention and Salah is starting. Salah is that's a lie. Darwin's in contention and Salah is not available for 27. So do not bring in Salah this week, categorically. So this is what I'm roughly looking at, by the way, chat. Let me just show you the plan of action. So I'm looking at something like... Let me just bring up the chat so I can see it. So, that's game week 29. So game week 27, Son in for Hwang, done. Then in game week 28, I'm looking at Neto and Doughty in for Kelleher and Ake. Right, so that's a -4 next week to bring in Neto and Doughty. That would then give me, like I said, 3 double game week players for game week 28. And then in 29, I'm looking at doing probably Maddison and Tony in for Richarlison and Solanke. So I'm looking at something along the lines of having 9 players for a -4 hit in 29. I could take a -8 to then do like Foden to Douglas Luiz or Bailey, which would give me 10 players. But I'm not overly desperate to do that at the moment anyway. The other option I've got is in 28, rather than doing Neto, I would actually do Haaland to Morris. That would give me another double game week player. And it would also give me another player for 29, which would mean going into 29, I would have 1 extra player, but I wouldn't have Haaland, obviously. So I kind of need to decide, is it basically it'll be Neto or Morris. I could do both, technically, and I've not ruled that out. So a -8 hit. But I'm keen to try and limit the hits to some extent. Someone's just asked, like, how many hits are reasonable to take between now and 30? Don't know. Like -8, -12. If you're starting to get towards about -16, -20, it's probably worth playing a chip. I'm probably looking at nothing this week, a -4 or -8 in 28, and then probably a -4 in 29. So I'm probably looking at between 8 and 12 points of hits between now and 30. And I think that's about right. I think much beyond that, you're starting to get a little bit into the... I'm planning 1 hit to get 8 players in game week 29, says Marcus. Yeah, see, that's fine. Like 8 or 9 is absolutely okay. There'll be some very good managers not fielding anywhere close to 11. Because it's just not really a particularly high upside week for us. Like, I don't really see what I'm attacking. So yeah, I think I have committed pretty much to no free hit. Unless, like I said, if Pedro Porro and Pau Torres like re-aggravate their injuries and then Taylor gets injured and what, like, obviously not a wild card or free hit, but for the time being, with the way my team's looking right now, I don't think I want a free hit. Richarlison to Son for -8. 30 points clear in my mini league. Yes, I would do that. Bench 1 of Gross, Gordon, Palmer. Wouldn't bench Palmer. It'd be Gross or Gordon. Probably Gordon, just. But Gordon's very good at home, so I don't love that. Would it be better to do Bowen to Salah next week? I just wouldn't be bringing in Salah at the moment, mate. Salah's got Man City next week, and then he blanks in 29. I think Salah's... Wait for Salah until 30 now, or 31. Bench 2 of Cole Palmer, Saka, Foden, Ollie Watkins, Bowen, Darwin, Son. I would bench 2 of those. Bowen and Darwin would be the 2 I would bench there. Who else should replace Estepinian? Or it depends. Again, depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for Something short-term and attacking, a Bournemouth defender or a Luton defender. A Luton defender would also cover you for 29. So I quite like the idea of a Doughty. If not that, then you're probably looking at someone like a Udogi. Could serve you well over the upcoming game weeks. And then if you don't have an Arsenal defender, then I would probably still be looking there as well. Start Cash or Estepinian this week. Matty Cash. He should start. Bench Bailey, Neto or Solanke, minutes managed. I think his minutes might be managed, but I would still probably bench Neto. I'd start Bailey and Solanke. Morning Rush, just cut my head. Sorry. Morning Rush, just cut my head shaving it. Typical. Got Solanke in my team, so who first sub? Ake or Powell? I've done that many a time, don't you worry. I've cut the egg many a time. Ooh. I would start Ake and bench Powell, or I'd have Ake before Powell. Yeah. Because I don't think Powell Torres starts, mate. I'd love for him to, but I don't think he does. Why isn't anyone getting Matty Cash? Because I still think there's a possibility that they do something like Chambers and Powell, or Powell and Longley at centre-back with Konsa right-back. I do think it's more likely that we'll see Powell Torres left centre-back, Konsa right centre-back, which means Cash has to play right-back. But I just don't know that that's the case. And obviously, as soon as Diego Carlos is back, which could be, unlikely, but could be before 29, that is obviously very risky for Cash as well. Cash is a little bit short-term. But I do think you'll probably get the next 3 game weeks with Cash. Probably. Would you move Tony to Solanke this week to fund Richarlison to Son? No. No, I wouldn't, I don't think. Oh, I'm blocked up. Bench. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! That was a voice crack. Bench Solanke or Bowen. I would bench Jared Bowen. We have got. How long have we been streaming for? I get confused by the timings now. We've got an hour and 15 till the deadline, so plenty of time to kick back and relax. Remember that because it's. Let me show you. Because it is a late deadline, we've actually got loads of 3 p.m. kickoffs. So there is the chance for some early team news for all of the teams playing at 3. And there are a hell of a lot of 3 p.m. kickoffs this week. How many? We got 6, haven't we? Brentford, Chelsea, Everton, West Ham, Fulham, Brighton, Newcastle, Wolves, Nottingham Forest, Liverpool, and Spurs versus Palace. And then we also have Villa at 5:30. I wish Villa were playing at 3 because I'd love some Pau Torres news. But yeah, that's the situation we currently have at the moment. And then Burnley, Bournemouth, then Man City United, and Sheffield United Arsenal on Monday. So, I mean, basically, we'll have a good idea about how our weekend's gone by about 5 p.m. Chat, do you think... So listen to my dilemma again and let me know what you think. And then I'm going to put a poll out. So, this is my team. I've already made one transfer, which was Hwang to Son. Should I then make another move to do Richarlison to Maddison or Bowen and then just bench them? And I know that sounds stupid, in case Solanke doesn't play. Or would you just not take a hit and just hope that Solanke plays? Does that make sense? So it's basically to have a good first sub for if Solanke doesn't play. Because remember, I don't think Pau Torres will get any minutes. And if he does, he's not getting enough minutes. I don't think he'll start. So I'm going to run a poll. Remember, I'm going to have to sell Richarlison anyway. And it will be for a hit anyway. So I'm going to have to sell Richarlison for a hit. Do I just do it this week anyway, is the question. What would you do? Richer to Maddison, Bowen, -4. Or no hit, hope Solanke starts. There you go. Let me know what you think. And again, I'm going to have to sell Richarlison for a hit anyway. So this isn't an extra hit. It's just moving the hit. The hit would be in 29 or the hit would be now. Does that make sense? I would bench Foden if you take a hit. You are being far too harsh on Man United. Frosty, Foden loves playing it. He's so... Every time he plays against us, he just turns it on. It's just incredible when he plays against us. No hit, get another week of info. Yeah, I suppose that is the benefit, isn't it? Getting another week of info. Like, I don't know, maybe, let's say I would have gone for Bowen, but Maddison has an absolute stormer of a week. Then, yeah, maybe I'll regret it slightly. The poll won't help you. The poll is currently 50-50. You lot absolutely do my head in. You're genuinely useless. Yeah, maybe I should just put Powell in the starting 11. But the thing is, I just don't think he's going to start. And the dream is always there of a Charlie Taylor monster haul, you know? Silly Joe says, hi Ross. Hello, Silly Joe. If you have Mohamed Salah, would you keep him or take a -4 for Son this week? Got Hwang, Saka, Erdegaard, Douglas Luiz. I'd probably sell him for Son. I would, because I think they are... Mo is a better asset, of course, but Son's not bad. And I think the fact that you've got the extra fixture this week, and you've got the extra fixture in 29, and Luton in 30, I think Son's fixtures are better as well. So I would bring in Son, yeah. How do you catch up 120 points? Is it possible? I mean, when you're looking at 120 points, you are looking at a big old amount of points to make up. Yeah. That's starting to get to like risky captains, risky chips. I mean, maybe play it out until like game week 30, 31. See if you can cut that gap. And if not, then you need to start taking big risks. Charles says, since Miss Pickle has a better rank at FPL than you, could you please ask her? She's asleep, so no. Bench Solanke or Palmer? Haha, just kidding. Love your show. Best one out there. I would bench Solanke rather than Palmer, and I would love to ask you, but she is fast asleep right now. And thank you very much, Charles. I appreciate the double super chat. Means a lot. Lawrence says, sorry if you've already answered, but just joined. If you don't have Solanke, would you get him this week? No. No, I'd wait. We just don't know. Even if he starts, which I do think is a possibility, if he's struggling with an injury that we're not sure if he's going to start or not, you never know if he's going to re-aggravate that injury. He could start 10 minutes in, come off. So I would lean towards saying no, I wouldn't bring in Solanke this week. Best Hwang replacement in similar price point, aiming to not free hit 29. Have 2.5 in the bank. Bailey or Douglas Luiz. It's one of the Villa lads I'd go for. Do Bowen to Son and Darwin for a -4. Or do Hwang to Son and Walker to Senesi and possibly do Darwin to Solanke for a -8. I would just do Hwang to Son and Walker to Senesi. I like that. Just those two, FPL machine. Kenny says, -4, Hwang to Sterling. Free hit 29, bench Solanke or you doggy. Sterling's a very interesting one. I've not seen a single person look at Sterling. But yeah, do you know what? I like punts like that when no one else is looking at them. And I would bench you doggy and start Solanke. I've got Gusto, Reguilon, Doughty. Who to start? If you can only start one, I'd start Gusto. If you can start two, I'd start Gusto and Doughty. I'd bench Reguilon. Hello, bud. What do you reckon? Start Solanke or Gordon? I would start... Oh, that's so tough. I'd start Solanke just about, Jay. And start Ake or Doughty. Oh, that's another tough one. I'd start Ake. I think greater chance for a clean sheet. Also, thinking of spending 12 points to field 9 players in Game Week 29. Free hit? No, I think that's fine. I think if you're using 16 points to field 9, starting to get a little bit dodgy. And again, it depends who those 9 are. If those 9 are great, absolutely. If those 9 are naff, like if it involves like Kabore, Bell, Taylor, I don't know, other players like that, like Souček, then yeah, then you probably need to free hit. Averill says, would you do Hwang to Bailey, Luiz, Palmer for a hit this week? If yes, who would you go for? I am on free hit 29. This is very useful, by the way, guys. Thank you very much for saying whether you're on a free hit or not. It does help. I would bring in Palmer this week for Hwang. Yeah, if you're free hitting 29, I'd go Palmer. I would have Palmer up there alongside the likes of Heung-min Son if you're looking to free hit in 29, because that's the only week where I wouldn't want Palmer. I like him in 28. I like him next week in 29. I like him next week in 28. I like him in 29. 30, he's got a great fixture against Burnley, I think. And then from 31 onwards, Chelsea's fixtures are really, really good. I'm getting confused what week we're on at this stage. Removing Elanga and Salah for Saka and Son for a -4. Removing Elanga, I think Elanga could be really good for 29. So unless you're planning to free hit, less keen. But bringing in Saka and Son, yeah. I would do that, and I would probably bench Garnacho out of the options that you've got. So yeah, I like that, Shawnak. Callum says, play Walker and 8 Nuri or a -4 to take one out. No, I'd just start both of them. That's fine. Trina says, got Gabriel, Walker, Saliba, Branthwaite in defence. Nice. Need to bench one. Any suggestions? Probably Branthwaite. Do you think Garnacho would do well in the following weeks or sell? I think we'll struggle without Hoyland, but I don't know when Hoyland could be back from 28 onwards. Garnacho's fine. I would only sell him if you've got the luxury of being able to sell him. I wouldn't force him out of your team right now, for me. He's an absolutely fine option. He'll continue to deliver based on his price point, but I don't think he's going to get you the amount of returns that like a Palmer would, for example. Palmer is a much better option than Garnacho. Hi, Ross. Start Estepinian or Anderson. Ooh. I'd start Anderson. Yeah. Or bring Saliba or Senesi in for a hit with Estepinian out. I kind of like that, actually, to be fair. I think get Estepinian out. Yeah, Saliba in for a double Arsenal defence against Sheffield United. Sounds quite nice. I was tempted at one point this week to do Ake to Saliba, but I just thought, do you know what? I'm just going to back Man City defence. Even though I probably shouldn't. G. Spencer says, hi, Ross. Start 3 out of Gabriel, Trippier, Taylor, Ake, Senesi. I would bench Taylor and I would bench Ake. So I'd start Gabriel, Trippier and Senesi. Trina says, should I risk a cheeky triple captain with Haaland this week? I understand the temptation, but not for me. I think there will be better opportunities in the future. He does love playing against Man United, though. He got 5 attacking returns against us last year at the Etihad. Harry says, take out Estepinian for a -4. If so, who? Okay, I need a defender for GAMEWEEK29 if I was to sell. Love the content, by the way. Thank you very much, Harry. I'd go Doughty if you're going to do it, and I don't mind doing that. Because Doughty's got the double next week, so it should repay over the double, and then he's also got Forest in 29. So I think I would go for Doughty. Victor says, what would you do with this defence? 0 free transfers, 2.2 in the bank. Powell, Estepinian, Zinchenko, Taylor, Doughty. Wow, that is rough, isn't it? Well, Taylor and Doughty should play. Estepinian could. Zinchenko injured. I would do Zinchenko to Gabriel. Yeah, Zinchenko to Gabriel. Or Estepinian to Gabriel. That would be my move. Ross, Lawrence said get Solanke for Alvarez. If you flip the question on its head, you'd recommend getting rid of Alvarez, wouldn't you? What do you mean? Selling Alvarez for Solanke? I wouldn't sell Alvarez for Solanke this week. I'm confused what you're saying, Frosty. But I think Alvarez is fine this week. Yo, Ross, Foden to Son for a -4. Love you, mate. I love you too. Yeah, not for me. I think Foden and De Bruyne could do very, very well against Man United. Fair enough, I didn't think Alvarez was great. I just think we just crumble against Man City. I think I've watched enough games now across the last few years to see us against Man City and just know that this is going to be an absolute bloodbath. In my opinion, anyway. Have to start either Konsa or Estepinian. Not ideal, but who would you pick? I'd go with Konsa. I think Konsa's got a small chance of starting. Gomez or Maguire for Bradley, or both for others? Gomez to Bradley is the sort of straightforward switch, I guess. But I would only move for Bradley if you're looking to free hit in 29. If you're not, I wouldn't be bringing in Bradley right now. Should we do a spin of the wheel for captaincy? Say yes or no in the chat if you want the wheel spun, and we can decide then. Should I take a -4 for KDB? You're my favourite FPL YouTuber. Cheers, Martin. I appreciate that. I wouldn't take a -4 for Son's KDB. No, I would just play KDB. If it lands twice on Palmer, I'll do it. Yes. Okay. Time for the wheel. The will might wake up Mrs. Raptor, though. Oh, well. She needs to wake up soon anyway to sort out her team. Imagine if I let her sleep in again. She'd kill me. Right. Okay, we've got Palmer. Oh, the fact that Palmer was the first one in my brain. Saka. Haaland. Watkins. Chat, who are we captaining? Who do you want in the poll? Oh, Son. Thanks. Son. KDB. Solanke. Okay. We wanna go risky with it. Foden. A couple of people on Foden. We can have Foden in there. Right, I'm probably going to leave it there because it gets a bit laggy when we have too many names added. Okay. Okay, that's very laggy. Okay, Saka. I mean, the wheel's feeling a little bit spicy. That's a little bit of spice. That's like, I would say like Nando's medium sauce spice. It's not the lemon and herb, which would have been Haaland, but it's not that extra little bit. Oh, let's have an extra bit of cheeky extra hot, which would have been something like a Parma, you know. Ah, back to the lemon and herb. God, that is lagging out. Oh. Oh, there we go. That was really simple. That's the most simple wheel spin ever. Saka is the best captain according to the wheel. Now, I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. We'll spin once more to see if there's another option. But Saka, if you want to trust the wheel, and people do tend to trust the wheel. Oh, that's spicy. That's extra spicy. It's definitely Saka for the wheel so far. Followed by KDB. There we go. If you want the wheel's advice, it's Saka. And if you don't want to go Saka or you don't own Saka, then it's KDB. Was not expecting that. I'll be honest. If you were to ask me what do I think the wheel's going to say this week, it wasn't Saka and KDB. There we go. I mean, I don't even own KDB. Chris says, love your content, Ross. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Here's hoping to a good week. Have you considered bringing your -4 for Neto forward, considering Burnley? Yes, but I also think Kelleher could do something. So it's very difficult to predict when a keeper's going to haul, Chris. And I just think that this week, either Areola or Kelleher could comfortably outscore Neto, and I just would never know. So I think I'm just going to stick this week. The only time I like taking a -4 for a goalkeeper is when I've got a keeper that's already injured or there's a double game week or in a blank game week. I don't really like doing it in just a single game week. Blackfinch says, Chips, free hit, wildcard, bench boost. 2 free transfers this week. What's your strat? Well, I mean, I don't know what your team looks like. But I think, assuming you don't need a wildcard now, and you probably don't need a free hit if you've got 2 free transfers, I'd probably be on the same strategy as me, which is wildcard 31, free hit 34, bench boost 37. And I would use, therefore, your 2 free transfers this week to bring in players that play in 29. But I can't see your team, so that might not work for you. Big news, Klopp is coaching the under-12s for United game. Wait, what? I'm confused. For the Man United game? I don't know what's happening. Are you talking about in the cup? Bench 1 of Bailey, Solanke, Foden. Any update on Solanke? There's a child screaming in the street outside. No news on Solanke, apart from there are a couple of people rumouring that he did train on Friday and that it went okay. So I think Solanke, based on the update that we have, is probably likely to start, but I've got no idea. They'll do another training session today, and if he's in pain, then obviously he's not going to play. So we just won't know. But I would still probably bench Solanke out of those 3, you know, just because he's got a chance of not starting. Need to bench 1, Douglas Luiz, Havertz, Solanke. I'd probably go Douglas Luiz there because Douglas Luiz is so much better at home than away. That's not me bashing Douglas Luiz. He's just really, really good at home. Hey, Ross, just wildcarding. I have a benching dilemma. Bowen, currently benched as I have Saka, Son, Palmer, Bailey, Solanke, Watkins, Haaland. That's probably the way I would do it, JK. I think I would bench Bowen. I know Bowen's just come off the back of the hat-trick, but he's not going to do that every week. Don't be fearful. Remember Foden got a hat-trick and then blanked the next week? It happens. Just because he's just got a hat-trick doesn't really mean anything. SM says, your deadline streams have become a regular for my wife and I. That is amazing. I'm also very happy that you said wife and I. That is fantastic grammar, SM. Thanks for all of the great content. She triple captain Saka this week. She'd like your opinion on that. Well, the Will's opinion is that it's fantastic. My opinion is I prefer to triple captain in a double game week, but I just triple captain Haaland for 10 points. So there we go. I don't mind Saka triple captain. I like the fact that your wife's taking risks. And thank you for watching the streams. I appreciate it. Let me just have a look at Saka's away data quickly, chat, because in previous seasons it's been really rubbish, hasn't it? And when I say rubbish, I mean like rubbish. Saka is really bad away from home normally. But there were signs this season that he was just starting to improve. And I just want to see if that's still the case. Let's go on my custom table that I've built. Again, if you want to get a 7-day free trial and 30% off, there is a link in the description for Fantasy Football Hub. It's just such a good website. It honestly is. I know I'm an affiliate of Fantasy Football Hub, but it just is a cracking website. And then we'll go per 90. And then we're going to look at home. So Saka's data... Oh, my Lord. Saka's non-penalty expected goal involvement at home this season is 0.82. 0.8. That is ridiculous. Am I on the right? Yeah. Wow. Okay. And then away from home. Yes, it's better this season. 0.57. It's much better. But you can see there is a difference between Saka away and at home. 0.82 at home, 0.57 away from home. So Saka is if it was Sheffield United at home, I'd maybe have the armband on him. But the fact that it's away just puts me off slightly on Saka captain. That's the only bad thing I can say. But it's Sheffield United. Do you know what else I wanted to check? Oh, hello. Fancy seeing you here. Mrs. Raptor just woke up like this. Like, where am I? What's the date? Someone donated £10 super chat to ask you a question. And I was like, can't ask because she's asleep.
Yeah.
Oh, we're delirious. You don't know what year it is, do you? The other thing I wanted to check, chat, is Sheffield United's home and away data. Because I seem to remember they were pretty stinky at home. Yeah, they are. Look at this. If we go per appearance, expected goals conceded at home, Sheffield United are bottom. But away from home, Sheffield United are all the way down here. They're kind of like the 13th best defence, like the 7th or 8th worst. So that might counteract the Saka not being great away from home. Because actually Sheffield United are really bad playing at home. So there you go. There's a bit of confirmation bias for your wife about her triple captaincy on Saka. And just to say, yeah, they're pretty bad. This is what I do though. I'm a bit of a stats nerd, but I'll go through and look at all these different stats. In more recent weeks though, Sheffield United's defence has improved a little bit, I think. Yeah, look, Sheffield United aren't as bad defensively. Like, they're not as one of the worst defense in the league. If we're looking over the last, 9 to 10 games. They've been better. So I don't think Sheffield United are, comfortably the stinkiest team in the league anymore. I mean, look, they're right next to Man United. Over the last 10, Manchester United and Sheffield United have conceded almost exactly the same amount of XG per appearance. So that's why I like the idea of Haaland. This tells us that Man United and Sheffield United are roughly equal in defensive abilities. Yeah, Newcastle are bad, aren't they? They really are. Brighton beat them 5-0. Absolutely, I know. I'm not saying they're good. I'm just saying that the data's not awful. Oh my Lord, that is bad. Oh, chat, I'm sorry for that noise. Ouch. Daniel Butler says, hi Ross. Hello Daniel. Back again needing Game Week 29 chip advice. That's absolutely fine. I've done Hwang to Son already, but as I have 3 Arsenal, Palmer, Richarlison, don't have bench boost but have wildcard and free hit. Can DM my team of easier. I'm leaning free hit 29. I mean, I have 2 Arsenal, Palmer and Richarlison, and I'm still not free hitting 29. So it depends who your other players are. I would say if you have 5 or more players and they're good players for 29 already, I would err on the side of saying maybe you could save a free hit. I think if you're in a position where you have 4 or less, and even those 4 aren't great, and you've got other issues to deal with, maybe you do free hit. Yeah, I would need to see your entire team, unfortunately. Bench 1, Foden, Solanke, Bowen. Love the content. Ooh. Bowen. Start Colwell or Taylor. Love the content, mate. Thank you very much. I would start Colwell, I think. Hi, Ross. Do you have any info on Estepinian? I don't, sadly, no. Nothing yet. I think I'll just bin him off for a hit. Think I'll just bin him off for a hit. Sorry. The stream's cutting in and out. Sorry if you lost the stream for a bit. We've dropped some frames there. Hopefully it comes back soon. I've got my eye on it. There's not a lot I can do, though, sadly. I'll just put that in the chat in case you can't hear me. The stream's just dropping in and out slightly. I think it's OBS rather than my internet, based on what I can see. So there's not a lot I can do, therefore. Solanke or Neto? I'd start Solanke this week. Is this the final team, Ross? I'm not sure. I've already made one transfer, which was Hwang to Son, but I don't know if I'll make another one or not. We can hear you fine. No drops for me. Yeah, that's fine. I think it was dropping for some people, but not everyone. Okay, that's good. Thanks, Frosty. I appreciate it. Need help on my wild card. If you go and watch my video yesterday, my deadline decisions video, I show a wildcard draft at the start. That's roughly what I would be going with. In fact, it might be here. Is this it? No. Is this it? I've lost the graphic. It's just me in front of a black screen. No, that's definitely not it. That is definitely not it. Start Pau or Senesi? Definitely Pau. No. Opposite. Definitely Senesi. I don't think Pau Torres will start. This is the abyss. It was. That was quite funny. Bowen or Palmer? Palmer. Hey, Ross, are we likely to get Liverpool team news? We're possibly going to get all sorts of team news, but it won't be... I think the earliest it will be is like 10 past, 1:15. So you're going to have to wait like half an hour, I'd imagine. We might start to get trickles now. Luckily, I've got some moderators in the chat, like the wonderful Frosty, who I'm sure will update me if we get any early team news. Yeah, so I'll keep my eye on Twitter. Everyone else can keep me updated as well. If we get team news, I'll share it with you immediately. I would love to get news if Darwin is starting. Yeah, that would be useful for people that held on to him. I'm quite jealous for anyone that held on to Darwin. Kind of wish I'd have held on, because Solanke's now potentially injured and he didn't get anything last week. Regulon or Konsa? If Konsa's fit, I would like Konsa, but... I'm wonderful too, but you don't trust my team news. No, I don't, Marcus. I don't trust you at all. To be fair, I forgot, because you hadn't commented for a little bit. I was just looking at the moderators that had commented recently. Gabriel Konsa, Estepinian, Ake, Doughty. No free hit 29. Who to buy? Gabriel Konsa, Estu, Ake, Doughty. I would sell Estepinian for Udogi. Would be a decent shout. Or Romero, if you want to just not risk a slightly injured player. Who else? You could go Regulon, but not ideal, obviously, for this week. I like the idea of keeping Konsa and Doughty and Gabriel, and Ake's fine for this week. So yeah, I would sell Estu for any of the players that I've just mentioned. Kaja? I'm so sorry. I'm going to go Kaja. Let me know if I've butchered your name there. Love the content, Ross. Thank you very much. Would you do 1, Richarlison to Bowen? That looks lovely. 2, Richarlison to Son and Foden KDB. Unsure which to Douglas Luiz for a -4. No free hit 29. Oh, that's horrible. What a horrible decision. Do you know what? In that position, I don't mind the Richarlison to Son, and then probably I would do Foden to Douglas Luiz. Big Game Kev. We call him Big Game Kev because Kevin loves these types of games, and I think he could do quite well. So I would say I'd lean towards 2, Richarlison to Son and Foden to Douglas Luiz. But just know that how bad... Just know how bad Man United are against Man City. So Foden could do very well. I do need to sort out my draft team. I don't really want to bring it up on screen because no one cares. But thank you for reminding me repeatedly. Did you have a good week last week, Marcus? I got 26 points in draft last week. Oh, dear. Why is it my whole front... In draft, I've got Nkunku, João Pedro, and Darwin. Now, what on earth is that monstrosity of a team? Oh, God, this team's a mess. It's just not good. Are there any available forwards? I can't be sorting my draft out in the middle. I'm just going to have to accept that it's terrible. Hi, Ross. Sorry of boring. Never boring. Don't ever apologise for asking a question. What are your thoughts on Hwang and KDB to Palmer and Son for a -4? I don't like selling KDB this week. I really don't. Feel good on Palmer, but I have a feeling KDB will haul. Thank you, Egg. Yeah, I would just do Hwang to Palmer and leave the KDB to Son move. Fuel your grind. Hi, Ross. How many double game week players is enough for 28? When do you think is the best week to play a bench boost? Is -12 too much for an 8 and 29? So to answer your first question, 2 or 3 is probably fine. Solanke, maybe one other Bournemouth and Doughty could be fine. I might be getting Morris for Haaland next week, but I need to decide how brave I'm feeling before I do that. When is the best week for a bench boost? Completely team dependent, but in isolation, game week 37. And is a -12 too much for 8 and 29? No, but that is right on the edge. I don't think you want to take more than a -12 in 1 week. So, yeah, that's the way I would lean there. Hi, Ross. Should I play Pedro Neto and roll the transfer? Or switch Richarlison to Maddison and play him and bench Neto? Or... I think I would just start Pedro Neto. Just because how stinky Newcastle are. I think I would start Pedro Neto. My rival in my mini league just asked me, is Solanke to Morris and Richarlison to Jordan Clark a punt? Not sure what to say to that. Well, I mean, the answer is it's certainly a punt. It's definitely a punt. Jordan Clark. Do you know what? Yeah, just say yes. Just say yes. It is a punt. I like it. Wildcard active. Team is similar to your wildcard video. Nice. Can play 9 players in 29 with 2 free transfers. Senesi to Reguilon and Haaland to Tony in 29. And then Watkins to Haaland in 31. Perfect. Yeah, I really like that, Toby. I do like the wildcard this week, and I just hope that I don't end up regretting not playing it. But I just think my team's just about okay. Just don't think I quite need it. What are your thoughts on wildcard 27 free hit 29? Okay, instead of free hit 34. I think maybe there's more to be gained from the fixtures around 29. Yeah, it's definitely possible. But the thing is, when I built a wildcard 27 and for a free hit 29 versus a wildcard 27 for a free hit 34, the wildcard only differed by like 2 or 3 players because you're going to want to own Son. You're going to want to own maybe Bowen. Aston Villa have decent fixtures. Like, I don't see where it massively changes if you're free hitting 29. But if you think the draft is massively different by free hitting 29, then yeah, I don't mind that at all, Parker. Jaffa says, Jaffa Keek, love the show. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. De Bruyne out for Son? No. Or Foden out for Maddison? No. Yeah, I don't think this is the week to do it. Again, if you were to ask me who scores more goals this week, Man City or Spurs, I'd say Man City. I'm really not overly keen on... Maybe that is as a pessimistic Man United fan, though. Maybe you should ask someone that's not a Man United fan. But I don't like the idea of selling De Bruyne and Foden this week. If I have them, I'd keep them and start them. As I am this week. I think the week to sell Foden is next week. Maybe for even like a Barkley. Could be an okay option. Or a Tavernier or something like that. Daniel says, full team is... Ideally would not use a chip. Thanks. Okay, what's your previous question? Okay. What chip strategy to use was the question, wasn't it? You've got Kaminsky. So you've got Areola. So you've got a goalkeeper. Son, Watkins, Richarlison. Does look a bit like a free hit 29. A little bit. I think you're right on the edge. I think you just need to commit either way this week. Yeah, I would probably free hit 29. Daniel, looking at that team. Just about. Because Richarlison's not even available either, is he? So yeah, that's looking a bit like a free hit to me. Tony says, start 2 out of Conser, Estepinian, Doughty, Regulon. Oof. Start 2 out of Conser, Estepinian, Doughty, and Regulon. I'd start Conser and Doughty. Bench Estu and Regulon. Would you start Garnacho or do Richarlison to Bowen for a -4 and start Bowen over Garnacho? I don't want to free hit 29. I would do Richarlison to Bowen. Garnacho could catch Man City on the counter. That is highly possible, but you're going to want to sell Richarlison anyway, so if it helps you this week, then... Why is my mum FaceTiming me? A couple of players I can start from Regulon, Doughty, Udogi, Senesi, and a couple from Palmer, Bowen, Solanke. Keep up the good work, brother. I would start if you're going to start 2 of those, it's got to be Senesi and Udogi or Senesi and Doughty. I'd bench Regulon. And a couple from Palmer, Bowen, Solanke. I'd bench Bowen and I'd start Palmer and Solanke. Rick, I would do that. Looking to get Son in, should I sell Bowen or Foden? If you're free hitting in 29, you can sell Bowen. If you're not, then I'd sell Foden. But I don't like the idea of selling either this week, in all honesty. Should have really taken that call from your mum. Not in the middle of a stream.
She might have thought you were streaming.
Yeah, I'll just tell her. I'm just streaming. You all okay? I said steaming. I'm just steaming. I'm just so angry. I've asked Mama Raptor what's wrong. I will update you on what is if Mama Raptor is okay.
I was thinking of that as in drunk.
Oh, steaming drunk. Yeah, I'm just steaming. Just drunk. Yeah. Oh no, she said yeah, sorry, all good. I feel bad now. Oh, poor Mama Raptor. She's fine. Don't ignore your ma. Everyone got really angry at me. Chat, I'm not going to take my calls in the middle of the stream. I've already got to deal with my yapping girlfriend over here in bed.
Unless I've been sleeping the whole time.
I've been sleeping the whole time. I know you have. By the way, how's the snow up your way? Reckon there's any risk to the game this weekend? Wait, what? Is that a joke? Or is there snow forecasted? I'm confused. Is there... Cheers, mum's crying. Yappa, yappa, yappa. I know, just yapping over here. You're so delirious. You know when someone's like just woken up from a long slumber? No, we've got an inch of snow the other side of Brum.
Yeah? Yeah. It wasn't snowing yesterday.
Ask your mum if it's snowing in Birmingham. Well, have a look. That's weird. It was snowing in Bristol. Oh, I thought you were joking. No, it's like sunny here. It's pretty sunny here. Back with the wildcard free hit. The draft is 5 players different. Is that too little? It depends who those 5 players are, and that also will affect... Like, they will really diverge, the 2 plans. But no, that's a little bit different, I suppose, Parker. Do you know what? Most people that wildcard this week will free hit in 34. So maybe wildcard 27, free hit 29 will serve you well. It's going to be slightly different. So I really don't mind that. Got a bit of snow in Newcastle. Oh, interesting. I genuinely didn't know that. I did not know that. By the way, we have got... How long till the deadline? 37 minutes. Wow, that flew. I don't want to jinx it, chat. But have you noticed I've not had to do something yet? Frosty will be able to point it out like this. But I've not had to do something yet. And I don't want to jinx it. I don't. Palmer or Gordon? Palmer. Hello, Ross. Looking very buff. Thanks. I'm midway through my cut. I'm midway through. I'm about 2 weeks into my cut, but I lost some weight. You've not had to turn your cam on and off, but you've been lagging. But the lag isn't my camera. The lag is the OBS. So yeah, my camera is just working fine today. I'm going to have jinxed that now, haven't I? Yeah, I've lost about 1.5 kilos so far, but not a massive amount. Mrs. FPLB is concerned about your camera. I'm concerned as well. Oh my God. Chat, the timing on that was impeccable. Oh my God. It started lagging. That is brilliant. Oh, God. I jinxed it. I know I shouldn't have said anything. Start Solanke or Madison? I would start... Oh, good question. Probably Solanke still. That's too funny. How come you're considering selling Haaland? I was thinking about it, but thought it was too much. Is it worth selling him for a couple of weeks? Well, if you're gonna if you're gonna wildcard in 31, what you're selling Haaland for, and the more I think about this, the more I think I'm just gonna buy Morris next week. You're selling Haaland for Liverpool, blank, Arsenal. With Morris, you get a double game week, which is pretty good. Is it Palace and Bournemouth? Then you've got Forest in the blank week, and I think he's got like Wolves in 30. So you're getting an extra 2 fixtures with Morris and better fixtures as well. That's so funny that the camera died as I said. Which supplements do you take for the gym? Creatine monohydrate is the only thing I take, along with the odd protein supplement as well. But yeah, it's predominantly creatine monohydrate. Is that going to work? Nope. Why'd I have to reset it twice? It's so weird that it needs to just be turned on and off. That's literally all I do. I just turn it off and on, and then off and then on, and it works. How come you're... Oh, I did that one, didn't I? Yeah. So I think I might sell Haaland. I'm really going to think about it. It'll at least make for some funny content. Oh, Morris says Tottenham in 30. Sorry. I don't know why I thought you had a better fixture than that. Anyway, I think the next 3 is just better for Morris, isn't it? The next 3 fixtures. Considering you get the extra 2 fixtures as well. Creatine causes hair loss. I don't have to worry about that. Do I? There we go. I'm back. Don't have to worry about hair loss with this bald egg. Bro's just yapping. That's kind of the point of my stream. You know? Any leaked lineups? I've not seen anything yet, no. Hello? Where are all of our leakers? I'll let you know if I get sent anything in DMs or whatever. From anyone reliable. Okay, FPL Tony's just tweeted this, which is kind of obvious, but good to know. Tony just tweeted, kindly reminded that City team isn't locked yet, so that you don't get baited with fake leaks. So anyone tweeting that they know the City lineup is lying, he's saying, because they've not even decided. Because obviously City play tomorrow against Manchester United. So there we go. We're not going to get City team news, but I don't think we were expecting that anyway, to be honest. If you are enjoying today's stream, we're almost at 1,000 likes and we're almost at 113,000 subs as well. Actually, we're over it. I lied. But anyway, if you would consider subscribing and liking, I'd really appreciate it. Do you have a hairy chest? Mrs. FPLB wants to know. What do you think? Yeah, I do have a hairy chest. Who's got my hairy toe? Does anyone remember that book? Yeah. Do you have that book? Who's got my hairy toe? Anyone around my age would know that book. From the UK probably as well. That was a great book. Why am I timed out? Don't know. I assume I haven't timed you out, but one of the mods probably did because you were either spamming or you said something mean. That's the only reason that mods would time you out. But you're clearly not timed out now, so you're back. It's just a children's book about a hairy toe. Sounds weird. Douglas Luiz or Palmer? Palmer. Which transfer did you make? I've done Hwang to Son for free. The team looks awful. I'm expecting a red this week. To be honest, I'm kind of expecting a red from now until about 31, but I'm hoping that saving the free hit and wildcard and bench boost for those last 8, I'm just going to get green, 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 green and make my way into the top 50. K. That is not top 50 in the world. Top 50K. Curly Harris. What's wrong, Harris? I can't send super chats. Why not? What's it saying? That must be an issue on your end because super chats are still coming in. Start Solanke or Gross? Gross just. Hwang or Richarlison to Maddison Erdegaard or Darwin to Solanke? I think Hwang and Richarlison to Maddison and Erdegaard sounds like a nice double combo transfer. Just doesn't let me. Very weird. I don't know why that's the case. It should just be you click on the button and you decide the amount, type in your message. I don't know. Way of Life Fitness says you got it. Oh, what a book. I want to read Who's Got My Hairy Toe now. What's the book called? Is that what it's called? I think so. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Back, I did that one. Lost where I am. Estepinian out for Saliba or Senesi for a -4. Not sure if wildcard 28 or free hit 29 yet. So it's a 1 week punt. Well, it might not be a 1 week punt. I'd go... If you're leaning towards wildcard 28, I prefer Saliba. If you're leaning towards free hit 29, I prefer Senesi. That's the way I would look at it. Because the real value for Senesi is next week. But if you end up wildcarding next week anyway, then it was a waste. Fareed says, Ross, love your content. 3.8 in the bank, 1 free transfer. Firstly, thank you very much. Thinking Gordon to Son or just roll. Have Palmer, KDB, Saka, Slangy. Do you know what? I would do that. I would. Not that I don't dislike Gordon at all for this week, but Son is Son. And I think he's enough of an upgrade there. Carl says, bench Reguilon or Dallo? Dallo. I'd start Reguilon. Much greater chance for a clean sheet. And I also think because he's on set pieces, you never know. Ben says, I'm top 3k in the world. Wow. And only 50 points clear in my mini league. Stressed. You're smashing it though, mate. I'm sure you'll still finish really well. Hopefully you can hang on to the lead. Just carry on making decisions like you normally would. It's only when you get into like the final 5 or 6 game weeks in a mini league where if you're in the lead, you can start blocking your opponent. So if you know your opponent's going to move for Son, you move for Son as well. That's when you can start defending. But at this point, you can't be defensive. You just got to still go for it. What's the plan for game week 29? It's not looking good. I'm going to have 9 players for a -4. That's the plan. Would you get rid of Hwang or Richarlison? I got rid of Hwang, but then I suddenly thought, why did I not just get rid of Richarlison? But I suppose there's a very minute chance that Richarlison's back for 29, whereas with Hwang, he doesn't even play then. I think if you're free hitting 29, get rid of Richarlison. If you're not, maybe hang on 1 more week and get rid of Hwang. Oh, there we go. You did it, Harris. Maddison or Bowen on wildcard, Son and Udogie already. I'm finding that very tricky, Harris, because I have both on my wildcard draft. If I could only have Maddison or Bowen, I'd go Maddison. For the longer term, I think Maddison. Shorter term, I think they're comparable. But 30, Maddison's got Luton, and beyond that, I think you might want triple Spurs. So yeah, I'd probably go Maddison. But that is very close. Pick 2 between Garnacho, Konsa, and Taylor. I know it's bad. God, that is bad. Garnacho and Konsa, I'd go. I'd bench Taylor. Start 3 of Doughty, Garnacho, Solanke, Barkley, Walker. I would bench Garnacho and Walker, and I'd start Doughty, Solanke, and Barkley. Hey, Raptor, do you reckon it's a good idea to get ahead of the curve and go Richarlison to Maddison and KDB to Son? I don't like KDB to Son. I would just do the Richarlison to Maddison move. Yeah, I would go for that, Bobbit. AG has become a Rap Tier 1 member. Thank you very much, AG. I appreciate the support. Welcome. Greek says, hi, Ross. Start 3 of Trippier, Gabriel, Branthwaite, and Doughty. Apologies. I would bench Branthwaite and I'd start the other 3. By the way, you've got just under half an hour until the deadline. Still no real early team news, which is weird. I mean, we always get early team news, so I assume we'll get something, but... Continue watching or go shopping with the missus. Go shopping with the missus. And tell her she looks beautiful. And give her a little cuddle. I was going to say I'd much rather be spending time with the missus than here with you guys, but that sounds rude. I kind of am with the missus. She's there, being very sleepy. I'll spend time with her after. Bless her. She sits there every Saturday for 3 hours whilst I'm streaming. Bless her. Bless her heart. Garnacho to Son or roll? Garnacho to Son and roll. All of the above. No, I do Garnacho to Son, I think, in that position. Continue watching or answer a call from my mum. Stop being... No, listen. Mama Raptor knows when I'm streaming, you know? Why is my OBS keep trying to stop it? What is Pickle doing this week for us? She also did Hwang to Son. Do you want me to talk about your dilemma? So she wants to... What is your dilemma? Estu to Senesi for a -4.
Yeah,
She wants to know... Okay, my OBS is dropping in and out. Sorry, it's dropping in and out. She wants to know, would you sell Estepinian to a Bournemouth defender for a -4 or just start Estepinian? Spam in the chat. She will look at the chat right now, I assume. She's not even on my screen. Whose stream are you on right now, then?
It wasn't Twitter.
Outrageous. Watching other men's FPL streams. No, so she wants to know, so she can either start Estepinian or Taylor, or do Estepinian to a Bournemouth defender for a -4. Senesi or Zabani or whatever. So either spam Estu or -4 or sell. Okay, yeah, everyone's telling you to sell Estu.
Yeah, I'm going to sell Stu unless we randomly get into
So the next question, and I think a lot of people have this question, do you take the risk on Senesi being on 8 yellows, or do you just go for Zabani? My opinion of it is if you're wildcarding in 31, I would go Senesi. If you've already wildcarded, I would go Zabani. The reason for that is Senesi has to get to game week 32 without getting 2 bookings, otherwise he's suspended for 2 games. But if you're wildcarding in 31 anyway, it's not an issue. But he has picked three yellow cards in the last 4 games.
Someone made a post about how all the yellows he's got are against like difficult games, like big teams.
Apart from the yellow against Forest.
That's the only one though out of all 8.
Yeah, that's true. I think he can survive. You just really need him to not get booked in 2 consecutive games now. I would get Senesi, because when you look at the data, 0.15 non-penalty expected goal involvement for Senesi. Zabani's is NAF, I think, if I remember correctly. Maybe I'm lying. 0.04. I mean, that's some of the worst in the Prem. He's also not great for bonus points. He's got 1 bonus point there. Yeah, Kirkes, I just don't know if he's like fully nailed, I think was the argument that a few people had. Yeah, like he's not started every game. In fact, he's not started many games recently.
I don't want to get Doughty because the fixture's bad this week, but I'm going to get Doughty next week.
Yeah, yeah. I think if you're going to bring in Doughty and the Bournemouth defender, you obviously go Bournemouth defender this week, guys. Right. Zabani is on 4 yellows, right? Yeah, but yeah, he's way off 10. He's not close to 10 yellows. Yeah, so the rule, by the way, sorry, I saw a couple people asking. Basically, if the player gets 10 yellows before their team has played 32 games, so not before the player has played 32, but their team, they get a 2-game suspension. So obviously, if Senesi got booked in the next 2 games, he'd miss the second game of 28, and he'd miss game week 30. But I mean, that's what I just can't see him getting booked in 2 consecutive games. That would be 5 bookings in 6 games. Surely not. Surely he can get away with getting no booking in 1 of the 2. But obviously, if he gets booked today, or sorry, tomorrow, you're going to be sitting there very stressed for the first game of 28. I paid money last week to be told Maguire wasn't a good 1-week punt and to be convinced Hwang could outscore Bailey Louise. Do you know why I did that? Because Maguire wasn't a good 1-week punt and Hwang could outscore Bailey and Louise. I just can't predict the future. But yeah, there it is. I do apologise anytime I give bad advice. I don't aim to give bad advice, but it is what it is.
The decision is not based on the outcome.
Exactly. Judge your decision based on the decision-making process and not the outcome. Oh dear, stop dropping frames, OBS. I have lost 2,200 frames in this stream so far. It's not good. Start Estepinian, Doughty, or Taylor? Doughty. Should I should I start Udogi and Estepinian and risk their benching but get 2 free transfers for 28 or sell Estu now? If you got a free transfer, I'd sell Estu now. I'd even be tempted to do it for a hit, but yeah, I'd do it for a free. The thing is, if Estepinian starts and he plays attacking, he's not only got a chance for a clean sheet, he's got a chance for an attacking return. So it's the sort of thing where if you sell him for a hit, it could not only go badly, it could go horribly.
It's actually like
but you do,
relationship with him.
yeah, it's toxic because you do this every week. We do this with Man City players. You know, your Man City player doesn't start, so you're like, they're going to start next week. And then they don't start again. You go, oh, well, they might start next week. And it's like, at some point, you've just got to just decide to just cut your ties with that player. Cut your losses. There's an element of like gambler's fallacy, an endowment effect. There's loads of psychology going on in it, and it's not an easy decision to make. 2 free transfers and not free hitting 29. Okay. Thinking Neto to Son and Estu to Emerson. Thoughts on different defender transfer for Estu. Have Palmer, Foden, Saka, Bailey. Transfer someone else for Son. The only other player I'd be probably considering is Doughty. I know he's not got a great fixture this week, but Emerson plays for West Ham, so it's not great either. Yeah. And then I do think Neto to Son probably makes the most sense. Yeah, Neto to Son and Estu to Doughty would be the way I would go, personally. But Emerson has been performing pretty well recently. Do we have any early team news? We don't. Weirdly. I don't know. Who are we maybe wanting team news on, chat? So that I can keep a specific eye out for. I mean, it's just no one saying anything. I guess the issue is, apart from Liverpool, we've not really got any big... Yeah, we've not got any big 3 p.m. games, have we? Like, no. Oh, Spurs as well. Okay, so we want Spurs, Estu, yeah, Liverpool, maybe a bit of Brighton. Aston Villa are playing at 5:30, annoyingly. I'd love to get some Pau Torres news, but... We're not going to get anything on Man City by the sounds of it, guys, because Man City play tomorrow. So I think unlikely. Is Pau starting? Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? But they play at 5:30, so I don't think we're going to... Sorry, if I go quiet and just stare at the screen, it's because I'm just checking to see if we have any team leaks on Twitter. Richarlison to Bowen or Palmer -4. If you're not free hitting in 29, Palmer. Sorry, if you are free hitting in 29, Palmer. If you're not free hitting in 29, Bowen. Late to the stream, what's the Liverpool news? We actually don't have any yet. Is Son and Morris for a -4 worth? Solanke and Richarlison out. I wouldn't sell Solanke for a -4. Because you're almost definitely going to want him next week, if not this week. Captain, Saka, Watkins or Haaland? I would go Haaland myself. Bench Gordon or Solanke? I'd bench Gordon. Bench one of Erdegaard, Palmer, Foden, Solanke. Oh, God. I don't think you can bench Erdegaard or Palmer. So it's Foden or Solanke. I'll let you decide that one. I think I'd bench Foden, which is horrible. Start Gusto or Doughty? I'd start Gusto this week. Brentford are a bit all over the place. I know Tony is Tony, but still. How are you, Ross? I'm good, thank you. 15 minutes till the deadline, so I'm hyper-focused. As always, try and get as many questions answered as possible. Try and get you the team news as well. Again, if you are enjoying today's stream, make sure you are subscribed. I do these deadline streams every single week. Udogie or Ake? I'd start Udogie ahead of Ake, I think. Although there is the chance that he doesn't start. But I suppose there's always the chance he doesn't start with Ake. Start Estu, Doughty or Taylor? Oof. Doughty. KDB, Garnacho, Hwang. Okay, to Son, Luis, Bowen, -8. I like the combination of transfers, but I don't know that I love the idea of selling KDB to Son this week. But if you need it for the funds, which you might do, then yeah, I don't mind that set of 3 transfers. -4, Richarlison to Bowen or Douglas Luiz, or get another game week 29 for Foden. Yeah, I think Richarlison to Bowen sounds good to me. Is this your final team, Ross? I think so, but I could be encouraged to make another transfer. But yeah, as things stand, I've done Hwang to Son, and I think that's where I'm leaning at the moment. Just keeping it there. I will just actually quickly screenshot my team because I haven't. But yeah, I think that's roughly what I'm looking at the moment. No, actually, it's more like that. Do you think so? I should start Pau Torres rather than Taylor. I don't like either of it, to be honest. Taylor is terrible. Do I want the Vice on Palmer or Son? No, I'm gonna go Palmer. I've got a good feeling. Brentford have been really bad defensively. Pau Torres is not in the starting 11. According to Andy. What, like, let's talk FPL Andy or someone else? Darwin is on the bench for Liverpool. There we go. Darwin on the bench for Liverpool. Who's got Pau Torres news? What, he said that on his stream? Or has he said that on Twitter? Because I can't see it on Twitter. Let me show you. Lazy FPL will say that Darwin is on the bench. So if you have Darwin... I mean, Darwin is good off the bench, by the way. So you can still start him. Okay, I'll bench Powell then. There's no point starting Powell if I know he's definitely not going to start. There's no advantage there for me. Let me go. What was I doing? Right, so that's the only news we've got so far. Okay, I'm starting Charlie Taylor. My team is so bad this week. I'm really tempted to make a defender transfer, but the thing is I can't sell Porro or Powell. So I'm making a defender transfer to sell either Taylor, who plays in 29, or Ake, and Ake's fine for this week. So I don't think a transfer actually helps me. I just got to suck up that my defense is terrible. The other option I've got is also, like I said, making a midfield transfer. Because my bench now is no one. Right? I've got Powell, who's not going to start, which means he'll probably get no points. Richarlison and Porro. So if Solanke's not fit, I'm playing with 10. If any of my other players miss out, I'm playing with 9. If Taylor hauls, I'm buying a Burnley kit with Taylor on the back. I'm serious. I'll order that next week, and I'll wear it in the stream. I'll wear a Burnley kit. If Taylor gets 10 plus points, I'll wear a Taylor Burnley kit to my stream. And he said he thought he wouldn't. Why are people telling me that he said that he's definitely not starting? So are they lying? Or... It would be good if someone could give me the actual news. But yeah, I could do Porro to you, Doggy, for a -4. Could do. Thoughts on a -16 leading up to game week 29 to field 9. That's about as high as I'd want to go, but it's not awful. Start Ake or Estepinian. Ake. Start Doughty or Reguilon. I would start Doughty. I have Haaland/Solanke and Semenyo up front, but looking to get Watkins in. Erdegaard for KDB, for Douglas. Erdegaard or KDB for Douglas Luiz and Watkins. But Semenyo's got the double next week. I don't like selling Erdegaard or KDB, so I would leave it as is, I think, for now. If Darwin's bench, would you risk or play Elanga? I'd still probably risk Darwin off the bench getting something. Bench one of Palmer, Douglas Luiz, Gordon, or Alvarez. Probably Alvarez from those options there, because he's not got any, like, the set pieces and pens anymore. Start Darwin or Bernardo. Darwin or Bernardo, because at least he's probably likely to start. Although if he doesn't, I'd much rather Darwin, so that's tough. What is my chip strategy? Wildcard 31, free hit 34, bench boost 37. Is Bradley starting? I don't know, but I would be very surprised if he doesn't, would be the way that I'd word it. You've got 12 minutes until the deadline, by the way. Think about getting those teams locked in. You could sell Porro to Udogie, Ross. Mind you, Eze's back. It's tempting, isn't it? The thing is, I like Porro. And I think Porro will be back next week. I'm so tired after watching these streams. You must be exhausted hosted them. I am. Yeah, straight after the stream, I'm like, ugh. That was quite a lot. I enjoy them, though, so. Who should I captain? Watkins, Haaland, Saka, or Son? I still think Haaland, Saka, Son, Watkins. But I've got my vice on Palmer. Do you know what? I don't know what I've got. I'm just going to put my vice on Son, I think. Yeah, I'm going to put my vice on Sonny. Just because it's at home. I like it. Right, that is the final team I think I'm going to rock into this week. I don't love it. I cannot believe I'm starting Charlie Taylor. But there we go. Let me screenshot that. There you go. Oh, God, what a disaster of a team. All right, let me get back to answering your questions. FPL Schofield has said that Solanke has travelled with the squad, Ross. Okay, we'll look at that now. I would. I'm going to still try and get the super chats that have been asked, but maybe stop dropping the super chats because I feel bad that I can't answer them. I hate that. Do you know what? I hate FPL. FPL, I just hate Twitter or X. You type in someone's name, and it doesn't always come up. I'll tweet this because I know a lot of people are waiting on it. So Solanke has travelled with the squad. I trust Brad, by the way. Brad's a very good guy. Also, an absolutely ridiculous cricketer. So if you're interested in cricket, you probably would have seen him, Brad Curry. But I trust him. He's not in the know, but apparently he knows someone that works at Bournemouth. And he's a Bournemouth fan himself. So I would trust this. Doesn't mean anything. Again, he could have just travelled and he might not feature. But I think the fact that he's travelled means he'll probably start, in my opinion. Okay.
I'm just gonna go for Senesi.
Okay, sounds good.
More hits after hit.
Oh my lord! Stop lagging out. Start Bradley or Ake? Bradley. Fantastic as always, Ross. Thank you, Khan. I appreciate it. What transfers should I make? I have De Bruyne, Hwang, Garnacho, and Foden. Should I do a -4 for Hwang to Bowen, De Bruyne to Son? Or a -8 for Hwang to Bowen, De Bruyne to Son, and Garnacho to Bowen to Palmer? It depends how much money you have, but the De Bruyne to Son is the one I'm least keen on. I would be looking at Garnacho to Palmer and Hwang to another player of some kind. Bowen, Louise, Bailey, Madison. But if you can't afford that without De Bruyne to Son, I like the idea of Hwang to Bowen, De Bruyne to Son, and Garnacho to Palmer. I like that -8. I'm not usually keen on -8s, but that looks good to me. Buy Bowen or Doughty. Have your top 8, won't free hit in 29. The rest of I'd need to see the rest of the team, but I think across the next two, Doughty could do very well considering the double. But Bowen's obviously an attacker, so I'd expect him to outscore Doughty. Just did Hwang and Walker to Son and Senesi. Do I do Darwin to Solanke for a -8 now? Yeah, maybe it's worth the risk. At least you get him for next week for the double, worst case scenario. Start Gross or Solanke? I would start... Now that we think there's a good chance of him starting, maybe I'd lean Solanke now. I think I've been saying Gross. Ross, do we have any leaks? Darwin is on the bench, and apparently... Darwin's on the bench, and Solanke has travelled with the squad. That's the only leaks that I've currently got right now. Do you not get bored of captaining Haaland every week? No, because I don't captain him every week. I sold Haaland for 15 game weeks. But no, I think in weeks where Haaland captain makes sense, I'd captain Haaland, right? I don't think it makes sense to captain someone else just to be different. Flabberdoodle says, hi Ross, would you start Palmer or Foden and start Senesi or Doughty? I'd start Palmer and Senesi from those two there. You've got just over 5 minutes until the deadline. Again, the news that we have is that Solanke has travelled with the squad. Does not mean that he's going to play, but it means that he's travelled. And we know that Darwin is on the bench. That's all I know at the moment. Aladdin says, Estepinian to Senesi and Gordon to Son, or Tony to Solanke and Hwang to Son, both for a -4. I like the Estepinian to Senesi and Gordon to Son moves. The FPL app is down. Oh dear. Try and get your transfers in ASAP then if it's lagging out a bit. I don't know anything on Powell. Someone told me that Powell wasn't starting. He'll only make the bench. But then someone told me that that wasn't actually a leak. It was just an opinion. Maybe I should put Powell back in. I don't know. I think I'm going to back my prediction, which is Powell's not going to start. And therefore, I think Taylor's got a greater chance for getting me something. It's not going to be good, though. I've got... Charlie Taylor should never be in your starting 11 if you can help it, unless it's a blank game week. Bench Foden, Bailey, Saka, Son, or Palmer for Solanke, or bench Solanke. Oh, God, that's horrible. I think your two choices are bench Foden or Solanke. I'd maybe bench Foden. Although Bailey away from home, not as good. Sorry, that's not much of a help. That was a difficult one. Do you know something on Power Ross? No, I don't. I wasn't actually at Villa this week. I've got no idea. I just think that he's not trained for the first part of the week. Conser has been training all week, and they've got Longley and Chambers. I just think if he's going to start one of Conser and Powell, he starts Conser, and I've got a feeling he won't start either. My prediction would be a back four of Moreno, Longley, Chambers, and Cash. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I cannot believe I'm starting bloody Charlie Taylor. Chat, is there anything I can do to not start Charlie Taylor in the next 5 minutes? I can't sell Powell or Porro. I just can't. It makes no sense to use a transfer. And I can't sell Ake. So I could sell Taylor. Is that a temptation? Why have I not considered that?
What did you say?
Just sell Taylor. For another player that plays in 29. Taylor to Doughty. But do I expect anything? I don't expect anything from Doughty this week either. Buy Senesi, sell Ake. But then I'm still starting Taylor. And selling Taylor to Senesi gives me one less player for 29. I think if I'm going to sell Taylor, it's got to be for a player that plays in 29, right? It's got to be for another 29er. So we're looking at Emerson, or I can't do you, Doggy. I'm already on triple Spurs. Get Doughty, yeah, but Doughty against Villa. I mean, people are literally captaining Watkins. Just swallow it up this week and save the transfer. I think that's what I'll do. Save 4 points, start Taylor. Taylor's fine.
It's not the worst fixture in the world.
Yeah, I know. It's not ideal. Forest player? Yeah, but not against Liverpool. Which Bournemouth defender would you get? I'd get Senesi and risk it, but I equally do not mind if you want to or need to go for Zabani for just peace of mind. I get that, but I would go Senesi. I'm really sorry that this just dropped out completely now. Nightmare. Sorry, chat, if you can hear me. Start one of Erdegaard, Solanke, or Palmer. One. Start one of them. How are you benching two of Erdegaard? That's bench boost. Use your bench boost. It's ridiculous. If you're only starting one, it's Palmer, but you need to start all three of those. I'd be bench boosting if that was what my bench looked like. You've got just over 2 minutes until the deadline. Just over 2 minutes till the deadline. Get it locked in. I am dreaming of a Charlie Taylor assist. Darwin is on the bench. Not starting. There are people in the chat saying Darwin is starting. That is wrong. Sorry, start two. Oh, I would maybe bench Solanke then. Sorry, I have missed a few super chats because it's too late to the deadline. I did say 10 minutes ago to everyone to stop super chatting. Sorry. Anyone recent super chat, I'm just not going to get it done. It's too late. I do apologise though. When should I triple captain? Missed the last one. 28 for Solanke, assuming he's fit, I'd go. Why are you benching Powell? I just think I'm going to back my gut feeling that he's on the bench, and in which case he's going to get me a maximum 1 point. If I'm wrong, that's going to hurt because he's probably going to get a 6-pointer. But yeah, I'm going to back that I'm right on that one, and I'm going to play Charlie Taylor. Dubravka, what about him? Does Estu start? I don't know. My prediction would be no, but I have no idea. He probably will start now that I've said that. Bench Bailey and start Solanke. Yeah, maybe I'll just about have Solanke ahead of Bailey. Why are you not starting Powell? Because I don't think he's going to play. And so at least Taylor has the chance. 90 minutes for an attacking return and the possibility of a clean sheet, which is very unlikely, I'm aware. It's probably going to get me minus points in all honesty. Why are people saying Powell starts? You have no idea that Powell starts. Unless there's a leak that I don't know about. Less than 1 minute until the deadline. Less than 1 minute until the deadline. Get your teams locked in. I'm just checking for any last minute news, but I don't think we're going to get it. Get your teams locked in. I do think Udoggy will start, but I don't know that. But yes, I think so. Is FPL Pat reliable? Never heard of them, so probably not. How likely is Power to make a cameo, though? Possible, I think, genuinely, to get some minutes in him. Yeah, Villa aren't great away from home as well, exactly. Right, that is it. We are locked in. We are done. I think I didn't even check that my team was locked in, but there we go. We are locked. Ooh. Do you think console will start? I actually think it will be... My brain just died because the deadline went. I think it will be Clement Longley and Chambers again, believe it or not. I just don't think he wants to risk... In a game against Luton, I don't think he'll want to risk Conser and Powell. He knows how important they are to the back end of the season for them. Just give them one more week to just settle in, get another week of full training. And they've got Ajax midweek, haven't they? I think, if anything, they'll start against Ajax. If Powell starts, Powell starts. The thing is, if Powell starts, it's not like I've benched Cristiano Ronaldo in his prime. I mean, you're probably looking at a 6-pointer maximum anyway, so I'm probably only losing 5 or 6 points max. If Powell starts and scores, I genuinely will lose it. I mean, when I say lose it, I'll probably delete my YouTube channel. F1 time. Oh, we can chat F1. Fantastic. We're going to watch the Grand Prix today. I have got Mrs. Raptor, not so into F1, slightly back into F1. She's watched F1 before, but we've been talking about it, watching a bit of the Ted's Notebook and watching Drive to Survive, of course. I'm not doing F1 fantasy this year because I want to not have fantasy ruin a sport for me. And as much as fantasy Premier League has made me love football in certain ways, it also, I can't watch a Premier League game now without being either anxious or excited or whatever. So I'm not doing F1 fantasy. What is FPL Pickle Squad? I can show you. She tweeted it out. I saw. Pick. Oh, I'm so hungry.
Same, actually. It's not just me.
Oh, my camera's gone. All right, this is FPL Pickle. This is FPL Pickle's team.
Did you start Kelleher?
Yeah. I didn't even think about it, really.
Yeah, no, me neither. I just kind of panicked. I was like...
I just realised my face isn't on camera. Sorry, I was putting all facial expressions and you wouldn't be able to see me. This is Pickle's team. So similar to mine. She's vice captain. Saka is the only difference. And she's got... So what are the differences? Oh my God, your team's so much... The differences between our team this week... Sorry, chat. The difference between our team this week is she's got Senesi and Saliba, and I have Taylor and Ake. I mean, that is laughable, isn't it, really? Let's be real here. Oh, that is an ugly freeze frame.
I've taken a hit, though.
You could take 16 points worth of hits. I'd still prefer Senesi and Saliba. Oh, dear Lord. Chat, that is not good for me, is it? Why are you being a bastard, camera? For goodness sake. I haven't watched F1 since the corrupt ending to Abu Dhabi 2021. I take it you're a Lewis fan. Or just an anti-Max fan. Right, let's get me back over there. You need to stop copying her and do your own thing, boss. I know. I just want to be her, really. I'm so hungry.
What are we going to eat?
I know. Yes, F1 feels weird having a race down a Saturday, though. It does, Cats, doesn't it? You're absolutely right. Sharky just said, I took a -8. Oh, dear. Oh dear, Sharks. Or just a sports fan. Fair enough. Explain F1 in football terms. Man City just win the league every year and win every game. And there's some decent challenging for European places. Tweet your team. Oh, yeah, thanks, Frosty. Forgot. Well remembered. Well remembered. What, is this just so that you can bash it, though? Game week 27 team. I'm going to get bashed for this on Twitter. Oh my god, can you hear my belly? I'm so hungry. I'm famished. It's because I'm cutting, chat, so I'm not eating as much these days. I'm trying to get lean. This is the chance for Charlie Taylor to become an absolute legend of the channel. Can you imagine him getting like a 15-pointer? I mean, is it possible? No. It's not. Chat, what's Miss Raptor's Twitter? FPL_pickle. And her profile picture is Pickle Rick. I thought you're bulking. Yeah, I stopped bulking. I hit 85 kilos and looked at myself in the mirror and thought, well, that is a big boy. So it's time to cut. Oh my god, my belly. It's the... It's going to get so loud. I might hold the mic down to my belly. Right. Done. Harry brought in the... and then benched him. For Doughty. Harry's a weird boy sometimes, but he's better FPL than I am, so there we go.
No, I mean about my decision.
Oh, you just insulted me. Oh yeah, Frosty's just put Pickles thing in the chat. You come across as very woke, Raptor. I'm not woke. How tall are you? 5'10", same as every time. And then the chat's like, no, he's 5'3", 5'4". I'm like, no, chat, I'm not. Last time I had to start Taylor, they got whacked by Palace. Well, they'll probably get whacked by Bournemouth today, really. Are you working on your summer speedo body? Yeah, basically. No, I'm not doing F1 fantasy, sadly. I'll be watching the F1. Why wouldn't you be woke, Ross? I don't really even understand what woke means fully. You look 6 foot wide. You're talking about these shoulders. Look at the chat. Can you see my boobs? Look at this. They're pecs. They're hard. They're not. Look. I have to try and do the thing where they dance. How does one have finger-sized nipples? Wait, what? It's about my nipples. You can't see my nipples, can you? Stay bulky so you can be bigger to hold in little spoon. To be fair, yeah. I don't want to get too skinny. Andy says that someone messaged him after the deadline saying Estepinian is starting. No, but we knew that would happen. Oh, my team is so much worse than everyone else's. Why does everyone else's team look good? Oh, I hate my life. This is what happens after the FPL deadline. What was it? Me flexing my pecs? Oh, stop dropping. I've lost 2% of my stream through dropped frames, apparently, according to ABS. Sorry if it's been a bit of an unbearable watch. I don't really know what... I can't obviously see what it's like on your end. Stay bulky so we can outrun you in the zombie apocalypse. I know this is such a terrible thing to say, but I'd quite like to live through a zombie apocalypse. Only for like a couple of weeks, then I'd want to go back to like the real world. But I feel like I would be pretty good.
My game's glitched. Game week 28 just looks so bad. Just generally.
What's it?
It looks like such a horrible week.
Yeah, but at least you've got another Bournemouth player now.
Yeah, I know, but like the midfield looks so bad.
Ross, do you bet on anything if you beat Mrs. Pickle in FPL this season or vice versa? No, because we didn't expect her to do this well, and I thought it was just a bit unfair me saying setting forfeits when it was very likely that I would win, and now I'm not winning. You can. What do you think my forfeit should be, or what should Mrs. Raptor's reward be? Let us know. If you think of any good ideas. I'm taking her out for dinner tonight already, because it's our 6-month anniversary. I feel like I'm a child at school again.
Yeah, it sounds like such a year.
I've been with my girlfriend for 6 months. Excuse me. Winner buys date night dinner. I do that once a week, twice a week. I buy us every dinner.
It's not as if I don't offer, by the way.
No, I know. It's just
Just so people know.
yeah. Mrs. Raptor's reward should be a body pillow with you printed on it. I can do that for her. Right, James, I'm not reading that out. Holiday wherever she wants. I'm doing that as well. Listen, I'm already a fantastic boyfriend. Yeah. Ross, can you and Mrs. Raptor come and take over at Torquay United? We need saving. Is it that bad? I've not really been keeping up to date with it. 6 months and she still hasn't got a ring on it. She actually does. I recently bought her a ring. I thought he was going to give it to me. It shows how little your hands are, by the way. I did recently buy her a ring. I can't get it on any further than that. The diamonds look terrible on that. It's not. The light isn't doing that justice at all. Oh, it kind of is. Not really, though. Like, I can't even get that on my little finger. That's how... I do have really fat hands, by the way. Like, they're just big hands, but yeah, I can't get that on my little finger. That's the ring. So I did get her a ring, but it's just not on a... Look at the side. What is wrong with your hands? Look at that. That is as far as it goes. Anyway. There you go. Chat, you're absolutely outrageous, honestly. You reading the chat? I'm not reading these things out. Trying to find a comment that I can actually read out. Do you play Football Manager? No, I don't, sadly. No, I don't. How does it feel to know you're proposed midweek because you're too busy at the weekend? Her hand's as small as your rank. Wait, isn't a small rank a good thing? Bradley's playing right wing. Oh, for God's sake. Chat, you're actually outrageous on some of these. We have the same hands. Rings look like that on my hands. There we go. There we go. Your top 3 Stormzy songs. Come back to me. Big Michael might be my favourite, which isn't an overly popular choice. I don't... Well, it was a popular song, but... I think it depends what you were listening to at the time. Like, Shut Up For Me throws me back to my first year at uni. So, like, nostalgia-wise, that's a very nostalgic song for me. But Tony says Bradley isn't right wing. Nope, Gomez at 6, Bradley right back. Oh, okay. Okay, Gomez is the 6. That was a horrible... It looked horrible. I don't know why they continue with it, but I guess he's trying to work out stuff. Can't imagine you listening to Stormzy. I do. I actually do as well. It's not like I say I do, like I genuinely do. There you go. There's my egg, by the way. Everyone always asks to see it. There's an egg. This top doesn't really fit me very well anymore. Sleeves right up a little bit because I'm a bit fat. Top 3 movies / shows. Suits, Prison Break. Oh. Suits, Prison Break. I actually don't know the answer to the third one. Like, I could go for like a quick, easy series. Yeah, maybe Game of Thrones still. Breaking Bad. Yeah, Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones. I do like the likes of, though, like Modern Family, Community. Like, I like those little shows. Superstore on Netflix. I love those, but they wouldn't be in my top 3.
I haven't watched a single one of those shows, you know.
You've barely watched any shows, though.
Yeah.
You're not really a show person, are you? Yeah, Breaking Bad would be in there. We watched Friday Night Dinner.
I've watched a lot. I haven't watched a lot of American stuff.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of British stuff.
Peaky Blinders was decent. I wouldn't have it in my top 3 though, sadly. Brooklyn Nine-Nine would be up there, definitely. What type of cardio do you do on a cut? So I walk to and from my gym. That doesn't sound like a lot of cardio, but it's like a 20-minute walk each way. So that's 40 minutes of walking. So I already do a lot of cardio, a lot of walking, and I walk a lot around around Nottingham anyway. I will do normally 5k runs, and then recently I did a bit of incline walking, but that was because FPL Pickle told me to do it. And I do whatever she says.
I didn't.
No, but you were doing yours, so I kind of copied you. It's hard to get your attention before the deadline. I'm sorry. I say this all the time, but I have an average of 30,000 messages in a chat in a live stream. It tells you on YouTube. 30,000. So I can only probably answer like a few hundred. So it's not me being rude, I promise. I just... It's difficult. Eggman don't do cardio. I don't do a massive amount of cardio. Absolutely not. Want to see you clean shave. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? I'd like a proper egg. One day I'll take my glasses off, I'll clean shave, and I'll take my hat off. And I'll just rock up looking like Humpty Dumpty. You look like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Wait, what? Okay, as expected then, yeah. Currently on incline 15. We were talking about this the other night. Die? I'm not die. I did incline 12 and felt like I was going to die. What's the timescale now for meeting Mrs. R? She said, don't know. You look tired still. Are you tired?
Not really.
Okay. She just feeling a little bit less engaged today. Sorry, look like Buffy the Vampire Slayer fan. Oh, I thought I was going to say, I don't understand how I look like Buffy. I have not watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Well, no, I have. That's a lie. I've watched some of the episodes, but I've not watched it in its entirety. What's for lunch? Sadly, not McDonald's, because we're being healthy now. We're both cutting together. No, I haven't had McDonald's in like 3 weeks, and I want to sob. I want to sob hysterically, like sit in a ball and cry. I'm sorry, Mr. Egg, but unfortunately, you look like a grown-up cauliflower. Kalu? What's a Kalu? Was that? Or did you start typing cauliflower and what's a K? That's pretty funny. I thought you typed in cauliflower, and this is apparently Kalu. What is this? I feel like I've watched this before. This is me. Especially with the backwards cap. I mean, that might as well be me. I respect it. I respect it. Do you know what? I don't disagree at all. What happened to the KFC thing? Did they not follow through? No, I know. My agent emailed KFC and was like, "Come on, give him some free chicken." And KFC were like, "That's actually quite funny. Like, we'll discuss." But then they didn't discuss. So no KFC for me. Well, no free KFC at least. It's pronounced Caillou. Oh, sorry, my bad. I've never watched it. Caillou. 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 What are your top 3 fast food chains? What are our top 3 fast food chains? Probably McDonald's, KFC, Burger King. Like a basic hoe. When did you start playing FPL? Like 5 or 6 years ago? Not that long, actually. I've only been playing for like 4 seasons properly. How did you find your agent? Sorry, I should have covered my mouth and that was gross. How did I find my agent? He found me. He approached me. Ross, I watch Caillou every day with my daughter, and yeah, he's the head of you. Fair play. It looks like I'm sure I've seen parts of it. It looks familiar. Nando's isn't fast food. Certainly not fast, so it is food. Oh, that stretch made me so jealous. When I'm sat in this chair for like 3 hours streaming, my back like cramps up. Never been to Nando's, just assuming. I do love Nando's, but if that was classed as a fast food, then yes. Why does everyone get on to Raptor for his pronunciation of things? Leave the bloke alone. I do pronounce a lot incorrectly. Lidl or Aldi? Look. Oh my god. Mrs. Raptor's an Aldi fan. Which apparently is actually pronounced Aldi. We had this. Well, no, I'm not having this debate again. I would agree, just because I don't want to upset the missus. I don't really shop in either. I'm more of a waitress. No, joking. I shop in M&S. No, I shop in Sainsbury's and Tesco. Oh god.
You know, Sainsbury's really isn't that much better than M&S and Waitrose.
Sainsbury's is not like right. You've got M&S and Waitrose. You've then got Sainsbury's, Tesco, Morrison's, and then you've got Aldi and Lidl.
Sainsbury's and Tesco are not on the same level, sure.
Sainsbury's and Tesco are in the same level.
No.
Chat, are Tesco and Sainsbury's like differing levels of what it says about you as a person? I would say you've got Waitrose. This is a very UK-based conversation, I'm sorry. So you've got Waitrose and M&S. Then you've got Tesco, Sainsbury's, Morrison's, Asda. And then you've got Lidl and Aldi. Sainsbury's is a little Tory.
It's actually quite an expensive shop. It's defo above Tesco.
Slightly above, but not in a different tier.
I found it so expensive when I went to uni. It was actually a shock to me because I'm used to Aldi and
Tesco, Morrison's, and Asda are a level below Sainsbury's.
yes, exactly.
Sainsbury's is right in between Tesco and Waitrose.
Yes.
So are you telling me then Sainsbury's is just in its own tier? So you've got Waitrose and M&S, Sainsbury's, and then you've got Tesco, Morrison's, Asda,
Yeah.
etc., and then Lidl and Aldi
Yeah.
in terms of like pricing
Yeah.
and how Tory you are.
Yeah.
I'm not a Tory, but I will accept that then. I just shop in Sainsbury's because it's the closest one to me.
Sainsbury's is so expensive. Do you
And because
think it's expensive?
I'm a baller.
It like offends me every time
I don't look at how much I spend on food. I just spend unlimited amounts of money on food. Someone said closet Tory. Not closet Tory. Stormzy benched Cole Palmer. Well, know him, Stormzy, then that means Cole Palmer gets sent off and misses a pen.
Someone said Iceland.
Oh, I forgot about Iceland.
You
Iceland.
know what? They have some decent frozen chicken nuggets though. No, not chicken nuggets. Chicken
Iceland
nuggets.
do. Iceland's such a funny shop, and I don't know why. Iceland do really good frozen stuff, yeah. But I wouldn't do my shop in Iceland.
They're spicy chicken strips. I would eat those right now.
I would quite like some. Should we get KFC?
No. Can we not get chicken strips?
If I had access, if you put all of the stores next to each other and I had access to absolutely every store, I would rotate between Asda and Tesco. Asda and Tesco are my 2 favourite stores, but you don't always have access to that. Harry just trolled you on a stream saying FPL Pickle was better than you and it's not hard because she's top 10k. Right, I'm going to open Harry's stream. Is he still streaming? I'm gonna. I'm gonna. Just outrageous.
FPL after hours.
You mocking his accent? Apparently you are being rude. You wanna fight. There you go. I've asked him if he wants to fight. I'm just. Oh, Harry's being sensitive about how much he weighs. I would say how much I weigh. I weigh 82 kilos. I'm just in. I'm just shutting his stream down. I'm not going to listen to what he's saying. Ross, you are so bald. I come back to my chat after 2 seconds. Agreed. Tesco is the worst. Real bad quality. I feel like you've. Oh, sorry. It's not Waitrose. Sorry, it's not M&S. Oh, Co-op. Forgot about Co-op.
So expensive as well.
Morrison's hot and spicy chicken strips are different. Oh, they are. I actually know the ones you're talking about as well.
Oh, I haven't tried those.
They slap. I think they're called hot and spicy. They're similar to the ones we get from Tesco.
Yeah. Can we get those from Tesco Express?
No.
Can you get any chicken strips from Tesco Express?
No, I don't think so. We could walk to Sainsbury's. Bit of a trek though. Sorry, chat. I'm just having a chat with Mrs. about what we're going to eat for food. We'd normally just order a Macca's, but we're cutting.
Bearing in mind the Grand Prix starts at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, that's true. Well remembered. I've just heard on Harry's stream that your girlfriend is top 10k. Mine couldn't care less about the sport. You are very lucky. By the way, live stream the fight. Thank you. My girlfriend is here. She'll say thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, that's quite loud. Good job. Well, oh my god, my nose. My beard sometimes, like, if a hair gets pushed the wrong way, it's sits in my nose. I love that you still got nearly 2,000 people watching you talk about supermarkets. I know. It's just I live a weird life. It's very strange. I remember talking about foot fetishes once midway through a stream, and I looked down and there was like 8,500 people there, and I was just like, oh dear, what is happening?
I say Mackey's as well, Zach. I don't know why he says Macca's. I find it a bit weird. Sorry, just thought I'd put that.
Sorry, you piping up when you want to insult me. Spends the whole team, pretty much the whole stream streaming. Let me try that again. She spends the whole stream sleeping. I said the whole stream sleeping. Chad, did you hear that? I just said you spent the whole stream sleeping. And you said it's because you bore me. You bore me to death. Bro has a PhD in yapping. Your mum weren't complaining last night, Alex. Hey. Yeah. Damn right. You had that one coming, didn't you? What's your order at... okay, Mackey's, we'll call it. What was my order at Mackey's? I would go for a large McCrispy meal, a banana milkshake. I would go for 20 McNugs, maybe some cheese. I really want a McDonald's. Should we just have it?
No, we're not having McDonald's.
I would kill a McDonald's. I get lots of food. Let's just say that.
I woke up before you, to be fair. I don't know why I woke up so early today.
You did a little bit, but you also...
I woke up 7:45.
But should we not talk about when you went to sleep last night?
It was only 11:30.
This is such a married couple conversation, but old FPL Pickle over here has got into the habit of, as soon as I start discussing washing up, she falls asleep on the sofa. Just miraculously, every time I start washing up or talk about washing up, it's like, oh, I'm asleep. So there we go. That's why it's fun, isn't it? Right, where am I? We'll get over to Twitter ready for the lineups. What lineups do we want first? Let me remind myself of the fixtures. The fixtures are Brentford, Chelsea. Don't really care. Spurs. Don't Don't really care myself. I don't really care about any of these games. But we'll look through them. Oh my god, my nose is aggravated. It's because Brummies don't know a hard day's work. Insult. Estepinian. Oh yeah, we'll look at Brighton, but yeah, apparently Estu does start. Everyone's saying.
Max is from that country, anyways.
Liverpool lineup is already leaked. Oh, is it? I haven't been checking, to be honest. We'll just look at it officially in a second. Huddersfield are beating Leeds with 10 men. Jesus. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even worse, I think Estu's starting as part of the front three.
Oh my god.
I think maybe because Lamptey and Veltman are both starting. No, he could be centre back actually.
Oh, I want to cry.
No, he might be. No, he can't be centre back, can he? Oh, actually, Lamptey, Webster, Dunk, Van Heck. No, he's starting as an attacker.
It's the same position he played in.
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh wait, where's Gross? Oh, Gross is benched.
Oh wait, what? Why's Gross benched?
Wait, what?
I hate this game. I actually hate this game.
Let's tweet. S2 starts. Gross. I cannot believe Pascal. What on earth? How's Pascal Gross benched? Sorry, let's get on to some other stuff. Spurs. Udogi starts. Son starts as the number 9. Maddison starts. Porro isn't in the team as expected. Neither is Richarlison, of course. No real shocks there, but Udogi does start. What other ones? Well, let's double check the Liverpool lineup. I cannot believe Pascal Gross is benched. Yeah, so it's as expected. Bradley starts. Kelleher starts. It's the squad we would have expected. What other teams we've got?
Oh my god,
I don't know if you can hear it. FPL Pickle having a meltdown over there.
Oh, it's so annoying though.
I know it is. I know it is.
Oh my god. You know what? It's fine. I was going to get rid of him anyway.
Chef Pop. But how does Byrne keep starting, man? He stinks. Isaac, Gordon, Murphy. Okay, so Botman's back. What other teams have we got? West Ham? De Zerbi just put Estepinian in his FPL team. Yeah, thanks. Bowen, Kudus, Paqueta, Sofao, Emerson, Zuma. Yeah, basically the lineup we expected again. Wolves. No, we looked at Wolves, didn't we? No Hwang. Definitely. Anyone else? Oh, Chelsea and Brentford. I want to look at Brentford's back line. I want to look at how bad it looks. So yeah, double check. Palmer does start, which is good. Sterling on the bench again. So whoever brought in Sterling, that wasn't the best. Brentford. Tony starts. So their back line is Roslev, Zanka, Ager. Is that how you pronounce it? And Collins, regular. Oh, they're playing a back 5. Oh, God, that's not ideal as a Palmer, and they're going to go super defensive. That's good if you own Reguilon, by the way. He's playing left wing back. Tony looks so confused. He's just found out about Pascal Gross. That is mental. Pascal Gross on the bench. No, Bradley's not playing up front. I think Gomez is playing as the 6. Again. That is mental, man. De Zerbi is a wild boy, isn't he?
I'm so annoyed. This happens to me every time.
I know, but it's like you hold on to him again and then he gets benched again. It's like you have to just decide a point to just get rid.
Yeah, but I did it for a hit.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, goodness me. Right, chat. I know it's a little bit earlier, but I'm starving. And because I'm not getting a takeaway, I've got to go walk to the shops, buy food, walk back and cook the food. So I think I'm going to probably call it there. It's lovely speaking to you as always, even though I'm not really speaking to you, I'm speaking to a camera. But thank you for being here. I appreciate especially the 2,000 of you that stick around until the end of the streams because it gives me someone to talk to. So I appreciate it. Have a wonderful Game Week 27. Have a lovely weekend as well. We'll be back on probably Monday morning at 7:30 a.m. to discuss double Game Week 28 and hopefully be celebrating a pretty good Game Week 27. So I love you all and I will catch you soon.
Bye.
Bye.